Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM, here with my guy, Black Rue. Black Rue's joining us tonight. Thank you, Black Rue. I
No
guess,
problem.
Black Rue, you tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I was on your show last week, and tonight you're on my show. So just give a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into it.
What's up, guys? Ruel Black, Black Rue Investing, the Crypto Rue podcast. Been doing this for like, wow, 4 or 5 years now. Had a show on Benzinga. Really nice show. Really nice to work with those guys. They're a Detroit-based company. You guys know I'm from Detroit. And, started off as a stock show, but once I really learned like the power of crypto and what was going on with crypto, and that the experts were saying one thing and doing another, I quickly shifted my focus over to crypto. And you know I still invest in stocks, and I really only talk about stocks in the Patreon. And so in the Patreon we'll talk about that, but most of my focus is on crypto. And yeah, man, I'm just happy to share information with others. I'm an engineer by trade, computer engineer, but I really like teaching and sharing things with others, and that's really my passion.
Okay, cool, cool. Thanks for the introduction. And yeah, my wife's from Detroit. So yeah, shout out to the 313. What up, though?
Yeah. What
But
up?
thanks
Oh,
for
there we
joining.
go.
And I guess we'll start with the crypto bubble. So let me bring up the screen share and see what we can see. So currently, Leo's up 2.9, Cardano's up zero point 0.8, Mudan's up zero point 0.5, Leo's up, Algo is up zero point 0.4, AIZ16's up zero point 0.5, Kron is up 3.5. Dog with a hat's up zero point 0.6. Arbitron's up 1.3. XDC's up zero point 0.6. White is up 4.6. ICP is up zero point 0.4. Up zero on the hour. I know this guy, Bansfield's probably going crazy. Uh, Nero's up 1.6. Metal's up 1.6 to 38 cents. I might get some before it keeps pumping. Cubic is up 3.4. Brett's up 1.7. Ton's up zero point 0.6. XPR is finally doing a little something, up 6% today, down 1.4 in the hour. I think I'm going to pick some more of this up. It's up 4 places. Actually up 630% on the year. I'm definitely picking some of that up. Let's see here. Is this? Hash flow is up zero point 0.5. Arbitron or Archblock's up 14%. I know these guys were talking about it, then they stopped talking about it. So I guess there's some more momentum. It's up 41 to 60 cents, up 14% today, 3.3 in the hour, 8.3 on the week. Uh, Helium is up 9.9, 4.1 on the hour, up to $2.55, up 9.2 on the week and zero point 0.5 on the month. So it's still pretty low. The token, Turbo Toe Turnup is up 0.4%. Swarms is up 1.1. Pith is up 1.1. Sky is up 3.3. Pepe is up 0.4. And of course, the Zebec Network, the ZBCN, our favorite payroll processor, is 2.6 on the day, 1% on the hour at the 004, down 1.6 on the week, up 2.7 on the month, and still up 265 on the year. I thought there'd be a lot more momentum going with the Sybos, but we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to get to some of the Sybos, some of the videos, see what's going on, see what people are talking about, see if we're missing anything. Currently, ZBCN is 83,897 holders. For the 4 hours, we added 41 wallets, addresses, 12 hours, 89 for the day, 150, 3 days, 333. For the week, we're up 612. 2 weeks, we're up 1,186. And for the month, we're up 1,993. I don't know if this is a rolling average or if this is just 30 days and the 30 days will reset tomorrow. So it'd be pretty interesting. I'm going to keep an eye out on that. But almost at 2,000 for the month. That's what we'd like to see. Currently, Solo Scan says we're at 83,900. So I was going to do 84,000, but I'm probably just going to wait and do the image for 85,000 since it's coming so quick. But we'll go over to X real quick. What up, Silver Haze? What's going on? BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. Uh, Silver Days, Zebec. Smash the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Silver Days. Yazin, what's going on, fam? What's going on? What up? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Keep the comments rolling.
Now,
Got
one
anything you
thing I
wanted to
just wanted to
say?
say, brother, is um so Ghost posted something about Zebec this morning, and I did a show at lunch about this. And you can see it here. Um, he said something like, "Are they really partnered with Swift? Did they really announce that they're partnered with Swift?" So there might be more to come either today. I haven't seen anything today, or maybe tomorrow, but that'll be something to look out for. Um, Zebec on their site also posted, like, they had an ad up in Times Square, and it said big news coming out maybe tomorrow. I think they said either tomorrow or today. So, man, we might have some big news either tonight or tomorrow. I'm so pumped to see what it is. I speculated about it on at lunchtime. We can continue to speculate about it here if you want to, brother. It's up to you. You know, I'm running in the passenger seat today. So let me know. Let me know what's good with you.
No, no. Look, this is a show, man. We're collabs, right? We're partners here. If you got anything, let us know. We're all about the information. We want to get as much information and knowledge out to the Zebec army, the Zebekians, the Zebec warriors, anybody trying to learn and understand. The main purpose of the show is to educate and to get more adoption. So if there's anything that you had or wanted or anything we could say, definitely don't hesitate. And this is what he was talking about. This is Ghost Tap In with the Black Rue. And this is the video from earlier. He's been covering Zebec for months and legitimately one of the best researchers in the space. And big shout out to Black Rue because Black Rue has been definitely holding it down, right? I was
Thank you,
making
brother.
videos and I came across his video. I was like, who is this guy? And I was like, wait a minute, he's talking about Zebec. Let me see what he's talking about. I was like, oh, this brother that went deep. I'm going to start checking him out, man. So from that point on, I was watching your videos every day. So shout out to Rue.
Appreciate it, brother. You know what? Think there might be something going on with Swift. There may be something going on with the NBA, but I'm thinking it's something about Swift and maybe like microtransactions. Let me share something that Shook Focus put on my X today. Get it up here.
All right. What up, hitter all day? What's going on? Let's freaking go. Zebec Nation Solid Collabo. What up, Captain Crunch? Let me see. Can I bring that up? Okay, let me see. Did it come up? Let's see. Maybe I got to take this one off and add yours. There we go. Okay, there you go.
So, big news from Swift, and this was September 29th. So, 9, and if you do the 2 and the 9, you add the 2 and 9 together, it's 11. So, technically it could be a 911 if you wanted to say that, but Swift to add blockchain-based ledger to its infrastructure stack in groundbreaking move to accelerate and scale benefits of digital finance across more than 200 countries and territories worldwide. So, huge news. Some people are probably going to take it and try to make it into, Swift's going to do their own blockchain. They don't need Ripple and all of this stuff. And people are going to take it and make it into that. And they're going to ignore the fact the banks that they're working with are a big clue and key into um, all the people, all the different cryptocurrencies that are going to key in with Swift. And just off the top of my head, you can see the Deutsche Bank there. They just had the partnership, which we were talking about with the All Unity stablecoin and Zebec. We already know BNY is connected to Ripple. We already know Shinhan Bank is connected to HBAR. So we know Mizuho is connected to Swift blockchain, also connected to Ripple. Bank of America and Santander are connected to Ripple. JP Morgan Chase connected to Ripple and XLR. XLR is also connected to Deutsche Bank, and so is the Stronghold. So people are going to take this news and try to make it into Swift's going to have their own blockchain, but really, it's really through the banks telling you, okay, these are all the banks we're going to use, and anything that the banks are connected to is probably something we're going to use, which are all the ones that I named there. So I'm really excited about this news, and I'm really excited to see what Zebec is going to say in the next few days.
Yeah, and as you mentioned with the banks, once one bank does something, all the banks do it. Like we were saying earlier, or maybe yesterday, the banks kind of work together. That's kind of why they have this conference, right? They all use the same information, they all use the same systems. It's kind of like a fair play kind of thing, right? You doing something, I'm doing something. We're always using or finding ways to make more money. So if you can find a way, I'll show you what I'm doing, you show me what you're doing, and we can together make more money. So the bank is always looking to find ways to partnership, and that's kind of how Swift got set up anyway. Swift is a messaging system. So instead of calling or sending a fax, they send a message. The system picks it up. It takes money out of one account and puts it in another account. So if there were to use XRP to integrate into their system, which makes sense, either they're going to integrate or they're going to get put out, right? Because the XRP system's definitely more efficient than the batch file texting, right? And with XRP doing it, and of course, which everybody keeps denying, but we know Zebec is already partnered with XRP, right? It makes sense, right? Once you get into financial services and when you start doing transaction processing, you want to do it the most efficient way, the cheapest way, and the fastest way. So if XRP can do the cross-border transactions and um, you can stream with Zebec, I'm pretty sure they're going to partner with Swift. Probably take a small fee from XRP and Zebec, and Swift probably charges a fee, and they're all going to divide the fees up, right? Everybody makes a couple bucks in the process. So let me see, what is this? This is ET 11190. And Deutsche Bars partnered with Circle on stablecoin rollout in the Euro partnership will bring Euro and USDC to regulated trading commodity infrastructure under the MI
Okay, I think
Zebec. Good question. You want to take it? Go ahead.
sure. Um, so we already know that Zebec is partnered with Circle. So um, and we already know now that they're partnered with Deutsche Bank. for the All Unity stablecoin. So that's already kind of there for Zebec, and we know that this partnership with the All Unity is MIGA regulated. So I don't think this has any impact other than um, I don't think this has any impact at all. Um, yeah, so because Zebec, if you look into its investors, are big investors with Circle. The Jim Breyer of Breyer Capital, he was an initial investor in Circle like multiple times. He's also an initial investor in Zebec. So as Circle goes, Zebec goes, and we already know they have with Deutsche Bank the partnership with the All Unity stablecoin. So basically, anything that can reach Zebec and Zebec can go into the RLUSD, the Paxos USD, the Circle One, like so many different stable coins. So basically, you can go from G G7 all the way to Mika to whatever you want using Zebec.
Okay. Okay. Good answer. And yeah, like you said, it's pretty much already there, right? The framework is already set up, so it wouldn't be a problem with these guys getting compliant and Zebec getting involved with Circle and the bank. Actually, Zebec's already working with the bank, and they're already working with Circle. It's just maybe everyone doesn't already know that. Uh,
And then
interesting
one other
see.
thing I wanted to add, brother, is that shout out to my guy Maximus Crypto that Max has pointed out in the past and showed documentation where Swift is the one who put into motion ISO 20022. So they put into motion the whole new messaging system. So why wouldn't they be working with Ripple? It doesn't make any sense that they wouldn't be. Check out a lot of the documentation that posts. It's clear that Swift put this into motion. So, people are gonna still gonna take this headline though and this article, and they're gonna twist it into, well, Swift made their own and they're not going to use Ripple, which is the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, it makes sense, right? Why would they make their own when it's already there, right? They would just adopt what's currently there and then try to make it better or kind of cater to what they're looking for. Interested to see A and Z on the list. I don't even know what is that. Auckland, New Zealand. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. But what up, Rise Above? What up, Rue and BTM? What up? What's going on, fam? What up, Rico Clean? What's going on, man? The Zebec. What up, New Wave? What's going on, fam? Let's see. Let me get back to this. Is there anything on this one you were showing, or you go back to X?
Note that that's pretty much it on this one, but I'll be digging into this some more later. Um,
Okay,
but
okay, no problem.
this is definitely the one here.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. Let me switch it back over. And yes, PT 112,190. Once you understand Zebec, you are hooked for life. Yeah, guy, it's a rabbit hole, bro. Once you open up the rabbit hole, you're in. It's like Alice in Wonderland, man. Once you, what is that? Eat the cake or the red pill or the green pill, man. Once you get in, you in the rabbit hole. And we spend hours looking, researching, finding, disputing, proving. That's all I'm doing most of the time. Scotty Bags, what up? Thank you, Rue, for all the Zebec deep dives over the years, I guess, or over the months. No
No
problem
problem.
there. Big shout out there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. What up, fellas? Keep up the good work. Thank you, Rico Clean. So moving forward, this is another Detroiter. Do you know Mr. Forsyth?
I know of him and he shares my stuff. Shout out to him. Shout out to him, man. He does some good work over there.
Okay, okay, yeah, I don't know him, but I do see his videos a lot as well. My man, Mr. Forsyth, with more of that fire. 80 trillion wealth transfer, how digital assets will transform finance. Massive wealth shift to digital assets and Zebec insights. Let's see what this clip's talking about real quick.
But I wanted to make sure I got this message across here.
Kind of loud. Here, let me turn that down a little bit.
Simon from Uphold said that there's an $80 trillion wealth transfer coming in the next 12 to 18 months. And that wealth is going to be coming into digital assets. Now, he talked about altcoin season and all of that and how that moves and that goes forward for a year. Zebec is right there, guys. Zebec is one of those, I say it's less risky because.
Come on, video. Might have to keep it moving. For some reason, the videos don't play well when the
Partnerships
screens
because of the
are up.
cachet that they have and because of all the business that they're doing. But a lot of that money, thanks to the community, the platform out there that covers Zebec, but mainly the Zebec people out there that's always talking about Zebec. A lot of that money is going to the synergy. It's going to come into Zebec.
Guess that's the end. Got maybe a second or two. Guess not. But shout out to my main man, Mr. Forsyth, keeping it moving. This is Angelica. Pardon is pioneering a global unified ledger. Major banks will utilize in London, New York, Singapore, Frankfurt, and Hong Kong. Was that partners? Investors are Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, Standard Charter. Who did Deutsche Bank just partner with All Unity stablecoin for global payroll, right? So we know that Deutsche Bank's already working with Zebec, right? Rumors they're working with JP Morgan, and we know Standard Charter. And we also know they have a partnership with All Unity stablecoin. So it's kind of like all these things are slowly coming together, right? Pioneer Global Unified Ledger based transactions. Paytor is being utilized by major banks and financial markets, including London, New York, Singapore, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, live with USD, EUR, and GSGD, and with GPY, AED, BRL, and others being onboarded soon. So it's almost like all this payroll is slowly pulling together to make a Zebec the king of payroll processor. They're not saying that yet, but I think it is coming. Our investors, DBS, JP Morgan, Standard Charter, is that Mansi and Peak? I don't know about the last two, but I know Major Charter is a monster like JP Morgan's, right? You can't do anything without messing with JP Morgan, man. Deutsche Bank, All Unity Stablecoin, select Zebec as a partner in global payroll partners. And this is Valor, Jump, Deutsche Bank, and Emirates NBD. So you got anything to add to that, Rue?
I keep forgetting that they selected them for their global payroll partner. So that's so huge because if by how it reads, they're going to do all Deutsche Bank's global payroll. That's how it reads to me. So that's crazy when you just think about it. That they're gonna do all of Deutsche Bank's payroll. It's so like it's almost laughable when you think about all the different companies that are actually connected to Zebec. When you look at like, you know, Jim Breyer, you look at Baidu, you look at Coinbase, you look at Solana, you look at Lightspeed Ventures, you look at you know, all of these different companies, Assure, ADP, Securitize, Ondo. It's like crazy. Ripple, Stellar. It's crazy nuts to think about this. And then they just gave us news that they were a global payroll partner, and there's pending NBA and NHL news. It's absolutely disgusting nuts when you think about it. And it's at a low right now. It's at a low right now. It's like what? Point 0039. Like this should be easy from here 10x before, you know what I mean, before the end of the year. 10 to 12x before the end of the year. Just imagine, like,
Yeah, it should.
definitely check out the show that I did earlier today, guys. We go into micropayments and how micropayments could be really important for sports betting, and that Zebec is like the leader in that right now. Imagine how that, imagine how high that can take it once that's announced. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no. The possibilities are literally endless, right? Especially with all these guys already coming together. They're already working on things. There's so much that's going to happen. Like we've been telling you guys all year, just continue to diamond hand and hold and wait, right? Generational wealth is closer than you think, guys. Come back to as she mentioned, Zebec was chosen as a global payroll partner by Deutsche Bank All Unity stablecoin. Uh, Deutsche Bank announced it successfully conducted its first euro-dominated cross-border payment via what's this? Patron's blockchain platform. So they're already testing this stuff, and I think we talked about that before. Before they really start using it, they're going to test the mess out of it, and then when they see it's good, they're going to turn the switch. They're going to start using it, then they're going to start talking about it, right? They're not going to say anything until they fully vetted it and they fully know it's going to work and everything is fine because they don't want you guys to run to it and something happens. When they do release it, it's going to go crazy, right? Price is going to go through the roof. So see here, this is Smelly. Let me check, or Snelly. Let me check this real quick. Check the chat. Troy in the building. What up, Rico Clean? What up, Crypto Clay? Yo, yo. Gonna watch on my way to work. Working the night shift. I see it, Clay. Silver Days in the building. What up, Clay? Dinner time trying to listen, but I'm getting the eye. Crypto Clay, what up, Yazim? Interledger?
Yeah, they might
BTM
have
Black Rue.
they might have watched the show earlier because I did a big focus on Interledger.
All right. I mean, if you can got a minute, you can run that back if you want to. A
Yeah, so
ZBIC
basically
protocol before network. Okay.
basically the real quick gist of that is that the Interledger is the protocol for Ripple, in which Ripple basically will do payments through that protocol. Uh, um,
Okay.
like when you think of a protocol, the first protocol that comes to mind, at least for engineers, is TCP/IP protocol, which is the protocol in which messaging goes over the internet. So like data, pretty much. So like if you have somebody's IP address and you want to send some data over there, you got their IP, and like you can send it over there through TCP/IP. I think UDP messages are just, you just send it over, no acknowledgement. Like you just send the packet, and if they receive it, they receive it. If they don't, they don't. TCP is an acknowledge. You got to have an acknowledgement with that. But like to get, I won't get into all the weeds of TCP/IP. But basically, if you think about it, Zebec may be this like some piece of this interledger protocol for Ripple. And the reason why like people have been hesitant to say that Zebec is that piece, and again, go over to my video. I break this down with like pictures and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of different stuff. So reason why people are kind of hesitant to say that it's the Interledger protocol, and this also could be the reason why we haven't really heard about the Ripple partnership. Because if they say something about the Ripple partnership, they probably have to mention they're a really big piece to the Interledger protocol. So if they mention that, um, for people who have been really studying Ripple really hard, they probably might go in really deep onto Zebec and get in really heavy. Um, but basically, the Interledger part is the part that's supposed to be doing like the micro payments and the everyday use of the Ripple protocol. The Ripple protocol itself is for like exchanging like hundreds of millions of dollars like cross border payment. But the Interledger protocol is for the day to day, like, bank card, on ramp, off ramp for banks type of stuff. So now you think about that and you add that to sports betting, you can kind of see why Zebec is needed, especially since XRP is deflationary. Every time there's a transaction with XRP, 0.00, like 401 of it is burned. So if you had something like sports betting and you were using XRP for that, you'd burn right through it. So you can't. They wouldn't want to use XRP for those type of day to day uses. So then in comes something like Zebec. Now, okay, you're burning and buying back Zebec, and now you don't have to use XRP or something like XLM for daily use. Zebec would take that spot as that protocol. So definitely check that out on the show that I did earlier today, and I'll definitely continue to break that down in upcoming shows coming up because it's a lot to take in. It's really a lot to take in.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like Satoshis to Bitcoins, right? So a lot of transactions you could do Satoshis, so you don't have to wait 3 or 4 days for the Bitcoin. But you're right, right? It's like the change, right? So for smaller amounts, you'd want to do faster transactions versus you don't want to use all your XRP, which makes sense, right? It'd be kind of a more efficient way to move a lot of day-to-day transactions or smaller. So I think Zebec is actually in a really good spot, man. This
Yeah.
is Brock. What up, man? Stupid excited about the interletter information route. What is this? Scotty Bags, get info. Y'all last message got cut off. Definitely sub BTM, keeping keeping coming fellows. Uh, Ghost posted some interesting information on X about XRP holders on Uphold, soon to be rewarded in ZBCN. I hope that is true. I hope that is true too, my guy. I definitely hope that's true because I definitely got XRP on Uphold. That would be nice. So back to X. This is Melting Faces for show. ZBCN buyback 244 mil won. Next round 500K in progress. And I saw something about the staking's up to 6 billion. Anybody seen that? This is still saying 5.
Yes.
Milestone reached 5 billion. Zebec staked earn up to 15% APY. You about to say something?
No. You're right. It's 6 billion.
Okay, yeah. So that's another big thing, guys. I don't know if people understand, but that staking is going to hold the value, right? The more staking we have, the more it's going to keep that price from tanking, or it's going to pump it like a big dog. Let's see what TKJ Boozilla has to say. Hopefully, we can play this video real quick.
How do we define?
Or is this just the Zebec? This the Zebec commercial?
Which one?
Let me try. This one is
Vision
playing. Hold on a
of a
second. Let me
financial future? A world where value moves freely across borders, where money flows can be composed no different than a symphony. A world where paycheck.
Yeah, that's just the video. That's just a commercial. No problem there. Yeah, no, it helps if I take the video off and just play the video. When the partnership is finally revealed, it will shake the ground beneath us. Shout out to Ghost. So this is Uphold XRP forge the path. Zebec lights the way. Uphold battle tested journey. Zebec's promise and emerging trends in the U.S. crypto exchanges and markets. Dr. Hazenbeck and Martin or Simon, the COO. And that was back in May, actually. And let me see, what was this other one? Exclusive ZBCN reward for XRP holders on Uphold starting this week. When was this? This is today,
This was
actually, at 3 o'clock. So I guess you're right.
yeah, but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
this specific posting I think was like um in like June or July. So we all thought that was the airdrop that they were doing because they told us they would do an airdrop, but it was never quite clear if that was the airdrop that they were doing or not. And then last spaces, Simon, CEO of Zebec, said, well, we're going to be doing some updated stuff with Uphold as far as rewarding ZBCN people. So we shall see here what's going to go on here. We
Yeah, I
shall see
suspect.
because it is definitely they definitely might do another airdrop. So I don't know if people want to start moving XRP to Uphold in case, because Uphold, if you click on that, brother, I think Uphold responded to that message that Ghost made.
Oh, really? Let me see. Let's go check real quick. Um, yeah, I think they did. Yeah. Very strong, maybe. Okay. Okay. TikTok.
So
Interesting.
that's
So you
crazy that they responded to it. So maybe we might want to do like a preemptive thing and start putting some XRP on Uphold right now just to see you know
they might be
if
right.
they
I
say
low key
something.
just moved some XRP to a cold storage wallet. I might have to move it back to Uphold just in case something happens. I don't want to miss that drop. This is the ZBCN man. Shout out to the ZBCN man as well. ZBCN family, buckle up. Zebec is about to take off over the financial world. Hey, everyone, Zebec is straight on fire right now. The ultimate Pay 5 beast blending AI, RWAs, real time money streams that got the TradFi giants sweating this week. Oh, wow. We're owning Sybos in Frankfurt, September 29th through October 2nd, rubbing shoulders with the world's top banks at Booth. What is that? DISS 15, dropping stablecoin flows into Swift ecosystem with EU fintech power moves. Full-time payroll for the win. Who's ready to see the crypto payments go global? Definitely there, bro. Make it
Yes,
compliant, locked and
indeed.
loaded. White papers under review. EU green light unlocked 1.3 trillion in crypto markets and institutional flows. No more red tape, just green candles. And ISO 20022 high priority sprint to year end. You're saying something?
No,
Just
no, no.
running through that script real quick. Uphold just released their debit card.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what's up, fam?
What to slap your
Slap
mama?
your mom.
Love it. Love it. I put that stuff on everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, no. I've been playing with it myself, so definitely appreciate that. Slap your mama. You want to send us a couple samples? We're definitely here for it, bro. Let me see where. Okay, so here, day 2 at Sybos 2025. This year is all about discovery, a fresh idea, a familiar face, a glimpse of the forces shaping the next frontier of global finance. What sparked your thinking today? Explore our program and watch sessions on demand. And we're going to check that out in a minute. So this is, I guess, some images from the Sybos. Not sure who these guys are. Looks pretty interesting. I was waiting for Zebec to send my ticket. I think they forgot about me, but hey, we'll catch them next time. ZBCN Elite. ZBCN is being used exclusively in our age old payroll system. We are a part of the growth. Zebec, a small, fast vessel of the 16th and 19th century, used almost exclusively in the Mediterranean Sea. And you can see there, this is the X Zebec versus the Z Zebec. So I'm still thinking they might be making that change soon or use the Z for the transactions and keep calling it Z or X for the transactions and keep calling it Zebec. What up, fam? We'll be rich real soon. I hope you're right. Slap your mama. Let's make it happen. I saw where Sam, one of the co-founders of ZBCN, liked one of the Ghost comments where Ghost said, does this mean Swift and Zebec are forming a partnership? Things looking wild right now.
Yes,
We'll
that is
definitely
correct.
see.
And that's exactly what I did the show on today, earlier at lunch. That's exactly what I did the show on. Sam liked that comment, and Ghost was kind enough to even send it to me. And I was like, yo, and I knew I had to come back today and do a show on that. So I speculated on what it could be, but we can see, man. We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, that'd definitely be huge. Definitely. But you're right. I think there's going to be some announcements. The last day is Friday. So I think they're probably going to drop a whole bunch of stuff Friday just to get the buzz going to the weekend. The price is going to pump and things are going to get crazy. Swift
Speak.
announced new blockchain-based ledger with 30 plus banks at Sybos. Juan Perez, Swift CEO, revealed plans to build a blockchain-based shared ledger to enable instant 24/7 cross-border payments. So, instant shared ledger cross-border payments. If I'm not mistaken, that sounds like all the three here. It sounds like the XRP, sounds like the Swift, and it sounds like our favorite payroll processor. So I don't know. We're gonna find out soon now. Scotty Bags, let's go. Let me see what this little clip is. Is he talking or is this just a video? You see, hold on, let me drop us real quick and play it.
Today, I'm very pleased to announce that we will add a blockchain-based ledger to our technology infrastructure to allow for trusted movement of tokenized value across the digital ecosystems. Wow. And those opposites, Swift and blockchain, TradFi and DeFi, can they really go together? Well, in the regulated system in the future, we believe they can. Banks are ready for it, and they're asking us to play a bigger role.
So interesting. So what do you think? You think that's them bringing out the ZBEC?
Yeah, and that's the article that I read earlier, and I like that's him saying it exactly. I really do think that this is it, man. This is everything that we want to see from cryptocurrency. This is everything that we thought would be coming from Swift, from XRP and all of this stuff. Like I said earlier, I think they're gonna try to like make it, people are gonna try to like angle this as Swift's making their own blockchain, they don't need Ripple, but that's not the case. So like if you can just play it again, like people can hear him say that. I think he said, people have been wanting blockchain and we're going to do it. So basically, that's basically what he said. But what he didn't say is that, oh, okay, well, it's going to be, XDC, XRP, and all the rest of the things. So
Today, I'm very pleased to announce that we will add a blockchain-based ledger to our technology infrastructure to allow for trusted movement of tokenized value across the digital ecosystems. Wow. And those opposites, Swift and blockchain, TradFi and DeFi, can they really go together? Well, in the regulated system in the future, we believe they can. Banks are ready for it, and they're asking us to play a bigger role.
Yeah, I low key think the DeFi is Zebec, right? They're not
yeah,
saying it, but they're really saying it, right?
can you click on that so I can get their ad? I don't know what their ad is. I'm trying to search them and find them, but I can't find it.
But this one?
Yeah, on Swift because I can't find them.
No, the actual Swift page or just the video?
Their actual page. Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? Swift community?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So this is yes. What was that? Cronwell Media interviewing Zebec at Sybos. I keep saying this wrong. Sybos in Frankfurt, Germany. Is this good? Yes, it's a very positive sign for the Zebec Network. Here's why. Cromwell Media coverage, they focus on financial institutions, fintech, blockchain, and payments. An interview like this means Zebec is getting exposure to decision makers and banking and payments, not just crypto circles. Sybos in Frankfurt is one of the biggest global financial services events where banks, payment providers, and infrastructure firms announce partnerships and showcase innovation. Being interviewed there gives Zebec legitimacy and visibility, and that's the main thing they need is the visibility. We already know it's legitimate, right? But when other people see it's legitimate, right, it gives it that push that we've been waiting for. Brand positioning, appealing alongside other institutional players. You can see MasterCard and others in the background. So shout out to Chat and Killer Dan.
You know what?
What is this?
Brother, one question. Can you go to Swift community on your tab or in your X?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Alrighty. I thought it looked different than mine. So yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem. Is that the same one?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the super chat, Scotty Bags. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat, guys. Thanks again, fellas, for all the information. Keep it going. Hope the gov shutdown doesn't slow down progress. And I was thinking that, bro. I was thinking, I literally tell my friends, got a lot of friends in crypto, and they're like, every day, man, what's going on, man? When's crypto gonna moon? When we gonna be rich? Every single day. As soon as I wake up in the morning, my phone's already buzzing, bro. When are we gonna be rich? When we gonna be rich? And I'm like, bro, there's black swan events that happen all the time, man. There's tariffs and scares and all kind of political stuff going on, especially with Casper. These guys were every single day, bro. We're gonna be millionaires tomorrow. I'm gonna get the Lambo tonight. Like, bro, just hold on a second. And one of the things that came up was the government shutdown. I was like, man, what if something happens with the government shutdown and creates another Black Swan event? We'll have to wait and see, Scotty. But thanks for the super chat. Don't forget to
Now,
like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead.
there was one interesting thing that Jake Claver said last night. He's a real He's like a real big XRP guy. He was saying that maybe a government shutdown would be okay because the only crypto that really has government clarity is XRP right now. Since the case is over for XRP and they declared it not a security, it's the only crypto that really has clarity. Now, there's another piece of news that came out that I covered again in the video that I did this morning, which was that the SEC said DePIN things are outside of their jurisdiction. So they basically did a rare no action like notice where they've never really done these before, and they did a rare no action notice that DePIN is outside of their jurisdiction. Well, one could say that Zebec is DePIN. So if that's true, then both Zebec and XRP will have clarity where other cryptos don't. So this could be reason enough to also the ETFs, like the ETF rush approval for crypto ETFs, the whole like template and everything, the SEC passed that as well. So maybe XRP gets accelerated here in the next couple of weeks where the price really kicks up because all these ETFs hit the market in their spot and all of them buy spot. It like basically bottom line, it could be good for your XRP if there is a slowdown. Not to say that or is a government shutdown. Not to say that they're, you know what I mean? It couldn't be bad either, but that's just one possibility.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because they did streamline the ETF process. So if there was to be something, right, you're right. They could just push them all the way, all the ones that are pending, just push them through just in case. And if that happens, it'll be a lot of eyes on the crypto market, especially if the government shutdown happens and people have a lot of time on their hands, right? And if they start moving their money over, like, look, I don't know what's going on with the government, but I'm about to get in crypto and figure out this crypto while we're waiting, just in case, right? It could be a perfect
Right.
storm. Like, man, forget the government, man. Let's start our own business. Let's get this crypto going. We're never going back to work. I can't depend on these
Exactly.
guys no more, man. New era of payroll or paychecks. Sent crypto anywhere with Zebec cards and get paid in real time with Zebec Pay. First Solana-based payment card launches in UK and 26 European countries of the European Union. And I think a lot of people are missing this. Zebec is full speed ahead on the European market, guys. They are regulated up and they are already rolling, right? There's a lot of stuff, red tape they're working on in the US, but you see they're already with Deutsche Bank, which is one of the largest players in Europe. They're already getting their certifications. They're already setting up payroll. I'm not sure what's happening here, but in Europe, Zebec is low key taking over, guys. So just make sure you keep an eye on what's happening there. New York Zebec, a pioneer in streaming finance, announced today the launch of Zebec payment card in participating countries. Zebec card users can now easily convert their crypto payroll and savings into everyday purchases in fiat currencies. The card works in conjunction with the Zebec app and the Solana-based wallet, enabling users to transfer cryptocurrency to the card and pay with anywhere in the world. MasterCard is accepted. Users of the Zebec card and holders of Zebec native utility token can earn up to 7% in rewards. And that's on here as well. And at the bottom, you can see available in Portugal, Croatia, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Germany, France, Spain, Poland, Belgium, Greece, Finland, Slovenia, I guess, Italy, Sweden, Liechtenstein, Denmark, Malta, Lithuania, Slovenia, Lindenberg, Estonia, Norway, Hungary, Czech Republic, Romania, Ireland, Austria, Republic of Cyprus, I'm not even sure, Ireland, and the Netherlands not included.
Oh man, can you send this link to me?
Sure.
Yeah, Liechtenstein, by the way, is where LCX is, guys. So that's really cool. And I had pointed this out to people in the past with LCX Pay. So it's really all lining up, guys. It's gonna be a crazy October, November, and December, man. Like I can't wait. I wish we were there already. I can't wait
Oh,
to
yeah,
see
yeah,
what happens, man.
yeah. Sometimes I wish I could just get in like a hyperbolic chamber and sleep and like fast forward time and just like wake up like, oh yeah, like you gotta wait 30 days or something, just go to sleep and wake up 30 days like, oh man, it happened. But we gotta wait it out, guys.
Right? Out here,
But
that
I
would be
think big things are happening, bro. Big things are lining up. Let's go back to the chat. What is this? Slap your mama. If you search for the Nautilus chain, which I have been looking at, I ain't really put a lot of research in, but it's so much coming out lately, man. It's hard to keep up. Um, it's where everything with the Zebec headquarters is stated. They essentially search and combine all of the alien technology, and of course, Zebec was born. So prepare the popcorn fam, and let's not forget the 1700 NDA. Why all the companies like Circle, Deutsche Bank, Stellar Org, and why Ripple? Why is Ripple a different? Okay. The NDA, why all these companies like it's like I got Circle, right? The Circle stock, and the Circle stock has been down and it's just now
yeah.
starting to run. And I
Well,
think
just
for
to
October, it's about to pump all the way up. What are you saying?
just to address what Stop Your Mama said, is yeah, Nautilus chain. We've been over that on my channel a bunch of different times with Zebec. Basically, Zebec used to own Nautilus chain. They sold it to a company, Three Base, so it's on Base now, but they're still connected to Nautilus chain. And with Nautilus chain, it actually connects them to Swift blockchain. And remember, we showed you guys before that Swift blockchain actually has a name agreement with Swift that they can use the name Swift blockchain. And even in that press clipping, it says, hey, well, we think this is a big move forward just that they let us have this name that the new Swift will connect to the old Swift. So, and we know that Swift blockchain is connected to Mizuho Bank. So this is all the research that we've been doing with, people like Underdog Crypto, Shook Focus Digital, BTM, me, Max, everybody. Like all of this stuff is coming together right now with things like Nautilus Chain and things like that. And good point there also, Slap Your Mama, with the 1700 NDAs. Like there's so much more news coming, even though we already have the pending NBA and NHL news coming. There's so much more coming with this company. So it's crazy to think about where we could be in a few months. Like literally by the end of the month. That's why I made this show like in the next 3 months, people are gonna get priced out. Like they're literally gonna get priced out, and they're gonna look up and be like, "Hey man, should I get into ZBCN now? It's 15 cents. Like it's 12. It's 20 cents. What do you think?" And we're gonna be cashed out and on a yacht somewhere. like like people are gonna be like seriously, this might be the last 3 months like that people have to get into it while it's low.
I remember you saying that. It's like, yeah, man, things are going to start moving quick. People were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden, it just all ran at once. New Wave, what up? it was confirmed that the government is not cutting paper checks anymore starting today. Yes, I saw a lot of articles about it, but I haven't seen the confirmation. But if you've seen it, no problem there. E, what up, BTM Brew? A Zebec is moving. Is it? Let's see where. Dang it. Yes, it is up 4.2% on the
Yeah,
day.
it was under it was like 0.0039 earlier today. Man, when they announce whatever they are gonna announce tomorrow, and you know, once we get into the NBA season, which is really rapidly approaching, and if they announce these micro bets, which I really think they're gonna announce, guys, it's just gonna be bananas, guys. And all of this is gonna coincide with Ripple ETFs too. So it's just gonna be crazy. It's gonna be bananas.
Oh yeah, no. Things are. But I think the major announcement they're waiting on, right? They're waiting for October, and then they're going to start hitting us with all kind of stuff. Once the market shifts, it's going to start to pump a little bit. People are going to start to move their Bitcoin over to altcoins, and altcoins are going to start going massive green. And you're going to see a lot of articles pumping. A lot of people start talking about altcoins. Thanks for the big news on Zebec. Let's go to the moon. What up, Benny? Yikes. Many people ignored ZBCN, poor souls. What up, Phantom Beats? Where you been, bro? Yeah, today was the last day for red checks, Fed checks. No worries, Benny. Crypto interest is at an all-time low as the government is about to shut down. And October 1st, I smell a setup. There's always something with those guys, man. You can't trust the freaking government. You guys offered great content for sure. I'm glad I came around. You guys, let's win together. Thank you, Slap Your Mama. Thanks for joining, and thanks for bringing some excitement and some spice to the live, man. What is this? Money Flow Technology, Zebec. This is check out the July and August buyback on chain. All tokens bought back are consolidated quarterly and held with Uphold in our dedicated buyback wallet. Interesting. So this is Sybos day 2. Let me see what we got. Future of value in no tribe stage. Not sure what that is. Big issue debate. The G20 Grand Prix. Who's the will winner? View from the top. Securing the Europe financial future. Profit, purpose, providence, balancing returns, impact, and risk. From the top, Sun Yu, Bank of China, and welcome our discovery welcome event. Interesting. And this is another quick video from a man, Crypto Chrome. See what he has to say real quick.
Stepping into the Hey, XRP holders, have you ever felt deja vu? Zebec ZBCN looks like it's stepping into the exact same spotlight XRP once did. And if the rhythm of the past repeats, we could be staring down a massive shift. Let's break this down together. Back in 2016, XRP was the buzz at Sibos. Its market cap was just 240 million before the event. Within a year, it surged to 89 billion, like a calm stream suddenly becoming a tidal wave. Do you remember how shocking that rise felt? History doesn't copy itself, but it echoes. And those echoes leave signals. Big global stages like Sybos don't just showcase projects, they rewrite who gets noticed in crypto. Now it's 2025. Zebec ZBCN is stepping into Sybos with a market cap of 345 million. The setup feels eerily familiar, almost like watching the same movie but with a new lead character. Imagine standing near a volcano. You see smoke, you hear the rumble, but the scale of the eruption is still unknown. Could Zebec be preparing for the same kind of breakout XRP had? This is where the story tilts. XRP's Sybos moment unlocked its climb to the top. Will Zebec follow that path, or could this be where the script changes completely? Here's the spark of hope. Zebec isn't just tracing the steps of XRP, it's laying its own highway. Real-time payments, programmable money, and infrastructure that could push utility even further. If XRP blazed the trail, Zebec might be paving the expressway. So where do you stand? Are you holding on to XRP's legacy or betting on Zebec's future? Drop your thoughts below and let's light up the comments. Want more crypto videos?
Shout out
So
to
shout
Crypto
out
Chrome.
to my main man. Okay.
Oh, I know Ghost had said something like that earlier. I don't know if Chrome said it first or Ghost said it first. It'd be nice if if Ghost said it, that Chrome says something about Ghost in there. But yeah, that is definitely true. Um, they're setting just up like XRP did in 2016, 2017. A lot of people are saying that about Stronghold as well. And Stronghold did the escrow like XRP did, right? And Stronghold has also done the what do you call it? The Stronghold Korea and Stronghold Japan, right where, XRP has big strongholds themselves, if you will, in that South Korea has really big movement when it comes to XRP. Decent Wallet, that's where they're located. Decent Wallet has the deal with Doppler Finance, and then also with Upbit, they have I think I had the stat on my last show. Um Upbit has more volume with XRP than they do with Bitcoin. And then Japan, we know Japan with Ripple, SBI Asia. So SBI is there and Mizuho is there in Japan. So Stronghold or the ZBCN, I think maybe both of them have a really good 3 months coming up here.
I'm trying to get a little deeper in the stronghold. I've been looking at it and waiting. I need to go ahead and start buying it up. Swift is adding a blockchain-based ledger for cross-border payments, partnering with Consensus. Deutsche Bank successfully executed the euro payment via Parler platform. The old banking world is going digital. Shout out to Dr. Martin Hazelbeck. Let me see. What is this? This is Solana Ventures. We're beyond excited to co-lead Zebec private round with friends at Distributed G. Huge congratulations to Sam and team as we're looking for programmable cash streams. Check out what Zebec is capable of.
Did they
And that's from
retweet
last year,
that?
2 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And this is the buyback these guys keep bringing up. Zebec, ZBCN buyback update. Through July and August 2025, Zebec bought back 15.1 million Zebec, 60,000 K funded directly from card revenue. Okay, let's go.
That's crazy.
15.1 million. Oh, wow. And then this is Creative Control. Shout out to Creative Control. And the award of the most savagely bullish post of the year goes to, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Ghost. Oh my effing goodness. Swift. They basically just say they're partnering with Swift. So I don't know. I'll have to wait to get confirmation on this one, but it's definitely floating around X. So let me go over to the chat real quick. What is this? If there was a rich list like XRP, what would the levels be? Asking for a friend. A rich list like XRP. We'll come
So
back to
XR,
that one.
well,
ET, go ahead.
XRP has a rich list where it's like, okay, if you're beyond this amount, you're like top, this percentage of holders of XRP in the world, and this percentage of holders, and like, for Zebec, I think it would be 20 million and up. You're like a mega well, like,
Oh,
20 to 15, 15 to 10, like 10 to like 5, 1 to 5, and then anything under 1. Those would be the rich list holders to me.
yeah. Okay. Shutdown means fire sale on Stronghold, Caspa, XRP, XPR, XLM, and Loan. I'm definitely picking up Stronghold, XPR, and Loan. Probably some more XRP too. The long-awaited collab bow. Let's go.
What's up, J Share
Let's.
2.0? What up, though?
So this is Ghost again. They won at Sybos, Frankfurt Field, with the world's leading banks and financial institutions. We invite you to visit our booth and interact with our team as we bring real-time payments, stablecoin flows to Swift ecosystem alongside some of the fintech partners in the EU. I think that's the last posting. So is there anything you wanted to show on X before we start looking at the Sybos information?
No, not at all. And I'm gonna grab some
Yeah,
water right
anything you
quick.
want
I'll
to
be
share?
right back. Uh,
Okay.
nope. Nope. I'm gonna grab some water right quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. So this is day 2 at the Sybos Frankfurt, I'm tripping. Um, and this is the actual Sybos site, which they have the videos on. So on day 2, welcome to Sybos 2025 Frankfurt. This week, over 12,000 members of the global financial community have come together to exchange ideas, build connections, and strengthen partnerships. Let's concede a year of conversations, insights, and introductions into just or condense a year of conversations, insights, and introductions into just 4 unforgettable days. Broadcasting live from Frankfurt. Watch Sybos TV for latest news. Uh, Live daily during the Sybos week. So this is Monday, view from the top with Governor Christopher Waller. And I guess this is the Federal Reserve, Financial Services, National Bank of Georgia, Interbank Card Center, Olympic gold medalist, futurist, and head of global soccer at Red Bull. I'm tripping. One of these has. I'm gonna get to some videos in a minute, but one of these had. Yeah. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, exhibits. I think exhibitors. So let's see. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So this is 21X. I'm sure who this is. Financial Navigator, Accentra, ABN, uh, Agricultural Bank of
Speechless.
China, AWS, uh, Elite Alpha, Ant International, Silent Data, Australian, New Zealand Banking Group, Autorec, Aqua Global, Blanco de Commerce, BCI, Blanco Yetis, Bank of America, Bank of China, Banking Circle, Bank Check, Barclays, BBVN, BFA, Bloomberg, BNY, bottom line, B or CBI, Cash Link, Chain Link,
They even have a,
City,
Bank of International Settlement in their city.
the Bank of China Merchants Bank, Clear Junctions, Clear Stream, tons of people. DTCC, DBN Bank, Deutsche Bank, probably thousands of people here. Emerson, EY, FICO, FinTech Futures, Fireblock, Fiserv, GitLab, interesting. Global Bank or the Global Golden Global, HCL Tech, Hedera, HSBC, IBM. What's IBM doing? Infosys, what they doing there? Anyway, ING, Indian Banks, Intelligent Design, Octabank, JP Morgan, of course, Capital Bank, KP or KBC, KPMG. Used to work there. What are they doing there? LexisNexis. I used to work there too, actually. MasterCard, Microsoft. So pretty much all the players. NASDAQ, Nexi, NTT Data. What? That's weird. OKX, Oracle, the monster. Paytech,
Well, IBM's there.
Pengay.
They're partnered with Stellar. They're partnered with They're partnered with Stronghold. And they're also partnered with Hedera.
Okay, okay. Quantec, Quist, R3, Red Hat, RBC, pretty much anybody and everybody. SP or S&P Global, SAP, SAS. What is that? Scotia Bank, SBE, Cigna, SmartStream, State Bank of India, Standard Chartered Bank, Standard Bank, State Street? Really? That's actually Bank of Vietnam, Swift, Taos, Parapay, Tech Quarter, The Banker, Clearinghouse, TradeWiz, USB, Visa, Wells Fargo, Web ID, XDC, the Zebec Network, all the way in the Z's. Oh my gosh, but the Zebec is here. We are live. Let me come back
Now,
to the chat real quick.
you see a lot of those data companies there, like Infosys and GitLab. All these things have connections into the quant hyperledger, or I'm sorry, the quant, yeah, hyperledger, the quant, overledger. Shout out to Maximus Crypto. We went over it a couple times, and he's shown how a lot of these things have connections into quant's overledger, but also at the same time they can be connected into Zebec and what they're doing with payroll. So it's crazy how we've connected it into that. With Zebec and payroll, you could basically do your taxes. through like Zebec system with Intuit and all the different connections it has into the Overledger. So basically, any type of thing as far as like loans and stuff that you want to do probably has a connection into the Overledger where they can connect it to almost any system that the Overledger supports.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much anything data, right? All the data, the IT, all the tech provider, plus the bank. But these guys are partners, right? Fintech, banking, technology, IT, everything is interconnected. So, like I said, if somebody's doing it, everybody's going to do it, right? Everybody's going to figure it out, get their piece of the pie, and they're all make money together. It's like what did this guy say? It's like a one big party, and you're not invited to it. One big club, they're all working
Yeah,
together. We're
yeah.
just trying to get a piece.
That's George Carlin. Yeah, that's a George
Yeah,
Carlin
yeah,
line. Shout out to George Carlin. Rest in peace. It's a one
yeah.
big
Shout
club, and
out
we're
to George.
not. You're not in it.
Yeah, one big party, and you're not invited. I always get that in the back. That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see. On the chat, huge names. The list should say sponsored by Ching Ching. Definitely Phantom Beats. Should say show me the money. Look, they should have a what's it? Getting to the money play in the background. Getting to the money. Literally everyone is there, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody is there. You probably got Rolls Royces and Phantoms sitting outside just ready to pick people up. Like, oh yeah, come on, guys, come on. Like, sure, just take them home. We don't care. Just everybody have one. Have fun. Only thing missing is Sony and I know, right? And Walmart. Sony, Costco, Walmart. I posted ZBCN Rich List and Ruse Shook Focus Telegram community. Okay, E. Uh, did it say what? What did it say, E? Good
I'll go grab
question. Maybe
that.
we can pull that up for you guys. Okay, cool. So this is the first video. This is connecting hard to reach regions to global financial infrastructures. And I think Rue mentioned this, and I know I talked about it several times. Um, Trying to help the unbanked and the unbanking, right? The people that don't have access to banks. That was one of the things that drew me to Zebec. I think Zebec can help a lot of people and keep you from being overdrafted to death from your bank or to accumulate fees and transactions that you don't already have, right? And let's talk to this real quick. Let me pull.
America. Crown Agents Bank connects traditionally hard-to-reach regions to global financial infrastructure, offering competitive, fast, and reliable settlement.
It has worked alongside central banks and government bodies to support stability by making currency transactions and international payments efficient and dependable. So, some of its key work involves supporting organizations driving change on the ground, such as development agencies and NGOs that depend on fast, predictable flows of funding.
And to discuss the bank's work in more detail, we're joined by Ian Stredwick, Senior Vice President, Head of EMEA Network Management at Crown Agents Bank, and Gavin Fury, Senior Vice President, Head of Payments Product at Crown Agents Bank. Welcome to you both. Looking very fresh face on the first day here at Sybos. We'll check in with you in a few days' time. Ian, I'm going to start with you, sir. Crown Agents Bank operates in frontier and emerging markets, but what challenges do your clients face and how are you helping them?
Well, firstly, I'll start with a bit of background on Crown Agents Bank. So, we have a long track record and history of working and connecting between major economies and emerging market economies. We work with large commercial banks and central banks in those emerging markets, and we help connect them with the global financial system, offering things like access to correspondent banking, dollar liquidity, provision of foreign exchange, and trade finance as well. And working with those banks, we've built up a unique network of partners who act as both clients and partners to us. And that enables us to access liquidity in their markets and their payment rails to offer to other client segments of ours, one of which is the humanitarian and development sector. So we are a trusted partner of many of the sort of multilaterals, NGOs, big charities, etc., helping them to source funding for their projects in emerging economies. And finally, for sort of payment providers, largely banks and some non-bank payment service providers, we act as an extension of their own networks. So where they wouldn't have their own network and capabilities to provide to their clients in some emerging economies, we act as their kind of gateway, etc., to those markets and a critical advisor to them.
Okay, speaking of markets, how does Crown Agents Bank actually adapt its services to meet the needs of clients in all these different regions and markets?
We provide a wide range of solutions for clients to interface with us to meet their workflows. In many ways, it's often the types of clients that vary rather than specifically the region. So you'll have some clients, particularly more in the NBFI space, who are keen to integrate via API and to access our FX and payment services, whereas many banks use SWIFT because that's what's available and that's ready to go. So we allow our clients to really adapt, keep their workflows without having to adapt that to us. One of the things we're really excited about launching in the next couple of weeks is our Swift to ACH offering, where we'll be able to take Swift inbound messages from our clients and be able to send that through into local payment rails, which will expand the range of offering that we have for many of our clients, both in.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Shut the front door. So he said Swift ACH payments. So it's kind of like a direct deposit with your bank, right? Deposit transfer, which could be a stream, right? They're saying it, but they're not actually saying it, right? If it's a ACH, that's just like your bank. You know, you send your check off and it takes 3 to 5 days. If they can do the ACH, they can do a streaming payment. That makes sense. I'm going. That's a rabbit hole, or that's actually something.
Also could be so that could either be Stronghold, because Stronghold has big connections into ACH with Nacha and things like that, or it could be Zebec. So it could be Zebec too there. So one of the two.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, or actually, it could be both, right? It could be Stronghold on one end and
Well, it could
Zebec on
be.
one end, right?
Yeah, 100%. Zebec could be the ACH. I mean, Stronghold could be the ACH, and Zebec could be the off ramp either to like a card or to a phone, either or. Yep.
A slick little message there. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go back and reevaluate these. Also mentioned Zebec is a very perfect fit for the U.S. military payroll and possibly U.S. government trust someday it's coming. Definitely agree with you there 100%, E. We could get real-time tax return payments through ZBCN. I'm in for that as well. That's actually pretty good too, Phantom B, because I was thinking that too. As soon as they said they're gonna stop cutting these checks, the first thing I thought about is uh, tax return checks, right? Anything the government checks, instead of giving you the whole check, if they could stream you the check, that could definitely be a benefit to the government, right? So I don't know, but definitely some good suggestions there, guys. Let's go back to the video. Be right.
Emerging and major markets.
Ian, you mentioned supporting the aid and humanitarian sector. Are there needs different to other segments, and how do you help them deploy humanitarian response swiftly when needed?
Sure. I mean, we're in a unique position where we can act as that gateway to emerging markets for those agencies, and we're privileged really to work with some of the agencies that we do work with. It's the household names, it's the well-known ones, and we're fortunate to have those relationships with them. Really, there's a few examples of where CAB has been kind of, to some extent, the last option for them to be able to connect to those markets. I mean, we supported the build out, and we still maintain a bridge with Afghanistan, which supports humanitarian aid flows into the country, but also helps with some critical payments out of the country, largely for humanitarian purposes, but also for essential utilities and needs like that. And also, fairly recently this year, we had the earthquake in Myanmar, and we act again as one of the primary solutions for clients to get their funds into and out of Myanmar for the humanitarian purposes as well.
Now, Gav, I'd love to turn to you. What are the challenges you face when dealing with historically underserved markets?
Financial crime compliance is obviously the key to all of this. We are a bank. We operate. We're regulated in the UK. We need to ensure that our correspondents and that our clients are operating, fully above board. So that might mean visits out to markets by our FCC team, or it could mean kind of staying in touch day to day. I think the other aspect is really understanding, the settlement of payments and so forth. That's something that in more developed markets we're very used to knowing that things are instant and knowing that things have already got there finally. That's not always as easy in many of these markets. And I think staying close to some of the challenges on the ground is really important. I think Ian and his team, for example, often distribute circulars internally to clients where there are political unrest, anything like that may affect the offering that our clients can use. So that's really key to stay up to date with that.
Ian, given the importance of partnering locally and globally, how does Crown Agents Bank approach partnerships and to ensure long-term value?
So this is an area where I'm massively biased in my role. So being in the position where I have to look after the network of banks that we work with around the world, really, I think for us, it's the backbone of what we do. Every transaction that flows through Crown Agents Bank ultimately ends up going through a partner. Every penny that we source from liquidity providers is ultimately a partner to us. So having that network as our USP is kind of the key for us. The way we look at partnerships really is kind of reciprocal, and that's why a lot of our network partners and clients are now sort of interlinked. So there are some network partners that have become our clients over time, and vice versa as well. And really, that reciprocity is kind of the key. There has to be something in it for both parties. We're providing them with a service which is essential for them, and they're providing us with a service which is essential for our clients. And that's how these partnerships work.
And Gavin, just looking ahead, what do you see as the role of technology and innovation in really driving even greater inclusion when it comes to ease of payment flows? I think this is going to be a big topic over here at Sybos this week.
Absolutely. So for us, inclusion is really at the heart of what we do. We're connecting emerging markets to the global financial system and making it easy for trade and other flows. Clearly, some of the topics to watch that we're investigating, stable coins to improve settlement speed, add some interesting smart features on top of basic payment flows, as well as, of course, AI. And now that's really to improve financial crime compliance and so forth, whilst improving speed and reducing delays, which should all help.
And Ian, final questions there. What are the barriers to progress, and how are we going to overcome them, perhaps?
Sure, I think actually Gavin's kind of touched on it. I mean, I think technology is both a opportunity and a barrier. I think if you look at a lot of the payment technology that's taken place over the last, and the expansion and really the kind of interruption that's happened over the last sort of 5-10 years, a lot of it's been focused on emerging markets, and I think it's largely been there to solve the kinds of problems that we face in emerging markets. And therefore we've ended up with a lot of different and new channels to make payments with. There's never been more ways to make a payment than there are today. And ultimately, the challenge that leads to, of course, is that you've got regulators trying to keep pace with this. We all hear and talk a lot about digital currencies and how they're being regulated, but the same applies to wallets and things like that, across and payments through QR codes and all sorts of stuff that happens across the emerging markets. So really, for us, it's keeping pace with the regulatory changes, and also the interoperability between those platforms, which is ultimately what clients want, which is something where banks and basically fintechs and new providers have to connect and work together.
Well, thank you very much to you both for joining us here on Sybos TV and also putting emerging markets in the spotlight. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest.
Well, I think that's pretty good because they mentioned the emerging markets and they mentioned the interoperability. And if you've noticed, they keep talking about compliance. And there's a lot of crypto companies, projects that aren't compliant. So that's weeding a whole lot of projects out, right? There's not a full amount of, I guess, people, processes, and systems that are compliant. So, pull anything from that, Rue?
Yeah, it's just like you're saying, brother. Zebec is gonna have the edge because they're compliant and they have all of these compliancy um, standards that they're meeting with the SOC 2 and MiCA and soon to be ISO 20022 that no other company is going to meet. Shout out to Mr. Spader 007 in the chat. I shared some of the research he shared with me today in my show that you guys should check out. And one of the things that it had in there was that Zebec is compliant and nothing else is compliant like Zebec is compliant. Let me see if I
Do you
can
have it up
find
on the screen? Let me bring it up, or are you still looking
Yeah,
for
I
it?
can bring it up right quick. I'll
Let me
share
see.
a couple of them for you guys, and if you can go check out the show, I'd appreciate it. But here it is. Here it is. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So why no competitor has this combo yet? Shout out to Mr. Spader 007. He's in the chat there. So U.S. based compliant, fully U.S. regulatory registered and ready. Most also are decentralized. Are only live debit cards already got it. Enterprise partners, NBA, NHL, MasterCard, Uphold, in process and piloting. Real time streaming architecture purpose built for continuous flow. Some have vesting payments streaming, but not at scale. Fiat, crypto, hybrid, on and off ramps built in. Crypto only or no bank connections. So they're way ahead when it comes to compliance. And then if you want to add SOC 2, if you want to add MiCA compliance, no, the other companies don't have this. They have it. There was another thing too. I'm gonna have to fish it out of the spaces, but one of the companies mentioned there was a specific compliance, and it was like I think it was SOC 2, but it's something involving SOC 2 in which you have to have that to basically to be able to do stablecoin trading. If you don't have it, you can't participate in this. So Zebec has it, and basically the way this person put it was like, if they want to be on the stablecoin rails and they want to, participate in what's going on with stablecoins, they have to come to us for this. That's how he put it, and that's gonna be crazy valuable for Zebec coming up here in the stablecoin world. But also, guys, I wanted to share what shared. Shout out to our Patreon and shout out to our Telegram. So here it is, the Zebec holder rich list. If you got 10 million plus, you're a Leviathan. 5 to 10 a whale. Shark, you got about 200,000 to 5 million. Stingray, you're between 100,000 to 200,000. Sea turtle between 50 k to 90 to 100,000. Clownfish basically 10k to 50k, and seahorse anything less than 10k. And really, right, I think really if you guys look at the kind of like the advantage what we have in front of us with Zebec, you probably want to be somewhere in this shark area, like to really make a difference in your life. I'm going to do a show on this coming up pretty soon. But yeah, like if you really want to make a difference in your life, you probably want to be within the shark area. You really want to be in the shark area.
Okay. Good. Definitely. Let me see. Come back here. I think there's a couple of comments. Where were we? It was. Yeah, here. Let's get it even with the Interledger protocol. Zebec will still be the rails that the company use microtransactions. All microtransactions We'll go through Zebec. Don't talk Zebec because they built the rails. All the companies win because the rails facilitate micro transactions. Every company wins because everyone built the rails. Without them, XRP would be burned too much. If XRP becomes 1,000, it wouldn't be used to send your $200 paycheck.
Right,
Definitely
and
so.
that's what I got into a little bit today, which is like without Zebec, XRP would be burned way too much. So check that show out. XRP is deflationary, guys, and if they think about the transactions with sports betting, if sports betting via Zebec was worldwide, there's no way they could use XRP for that. It would be burned in a day. It would be burned in a season. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way with all the derivative bets, like especially if it goes down to the point with Zebec where you can do like a bet on like instant, like is LeBron gonna make that free throw? Is he not gonna make the free throw? How many turnovers is Cade gonna get? You know, at the half, at the end of the game, like how many threes will Cade make? Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons, which is one of the teams, right? So there's no way it would burn through way too much XRP. So if you think about it with sports betting, and then you think about it being used for universities, with university students using it, which they got the science card. They're over there in UK universities right now. Like, man, Zebec might like. It's crazy to think about it, but if all of that hits into place, somebody digital nomad investor on my channel, like he's like, if everything hits in its place, 2025, Zebec could hit $1. Can you imagine how crazy that would be if it hits $1 and you're a shark, where you got 200,000 to 5 million ZBCN, and it hits $1 and you're a 5 millionaire. Like,
Yeah.
you're a 5 millionaire.
Multi-millionaire.
Right. Even if you say you just bought it and the taxes and the capital gains taxes are like 40%, you're still walking away with like two to 3 to 3.5 million there. Even if you pay like total capital gains tax, and quiet as it's kept, you may be able to do like crypto loans, so you don't have to pay because the crypto loans are not a taxable event. But still, if you wanted to just cash out and do that route, you're still sitting on like 3 something million. Saying that it hits $1, right? It could hit 10 cents, 15 cents, but again, knowing that it has the buyback mechanism built inside of it, sports betting is really going to hit that buyback mechanism if it works the way it's supposed to work. It's really going to hit Zebec's buyback mechanism really, really hard.
Yeah, no. You 100% right. If these guys use it for betting, these guys are gonna start betting on everything. And it's instant betting. Man, people are gonna bet on all kind of weird things. Shooting, turnovers, fouls, people driving, people shooting, all kind of weird parlays. Man, it's gonna be on fire. So yeah, definitely can't use XRP for that, because if so, just some of the guys I know would burn through all the XRP before the end of the game. Like, bro, we've been betting the whole game, bro. I'm betting on shots. I'm betting on crossovers. I'm betting on layups. I'm betting on 3 points. I'm betting on rebounds. Bro, these guys would burn through everything in a matter of minutes, bro. And it's instant. Yeah, man. It has to be some kind of intermediary. Zebec is the only turnkey ready company that can provide the layer. definitely Mr. Bader. I broke the rich list. Only you know. What is this? On the low, but my bag number is legit. Zebec, what up, Yazin? What's going on, fam? Was that a shark? That's a whale. Anyway, is it whales?
Yeah, it's a
Trying to
whale.
wait for it to come. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll see you out here, Yazin. Yaks, my cousin, is that frog they used in the science class for a section. That's where he is at in the rich list. Terrible. That's terrible. Uh, Shout out to Phantom Beats. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So I guess we can move. You guys want to watch this next focus on the European market infrastructure? What up? Yo, BTM and Rue. What up, Dreams? What's going on,
What's
fam?
up, Dreamer?
Let me take this off real.
We're turning our attention now to Europe, where we are going to take a look at SIX, which serves the Swiss and Spanish financial centers and a broad international client base.
In addition to operating stock exchanges, it provides services in post-trading, financial data, and the payments business, and significantly expanded its footprint with the acquisition of the Acquis exchange in July.
And to look at SIX in more detail, we can speak with Björn Sibben, who became CEO of SIX at the start of the year. Welcome, Björn, and belated congratulations on the new role.
Great to have you here, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
The very belated congratulations indeed on your appointment and as the new CEO of SIX. But tell us, how do you plan to leverage your experience from other capital market roles to accelerate the company's position now?
So I've been with the industry for more than 20 years, and I think the starting point for SIX is great. So we run the full value chain, meaning trading, clearing, and settlement in Switzerland, similar in Spain. And with our latest acquisition with Acquis, we also have a pan-European trading offering where we actually provide trading across in Europe in 16 markets. So we have a strong position. I think our right to win and where we focus is to expand on what we do in Europe. So our focus is mainly how to grow and do more of the business we do today, mainly in Europe.
Let's touch on that a little bit more, because the acquisition of Acquis has significantly expanded the reach of SIX across 16 markets now. How do you envision integrating Acquis's technology?
So Acquis is a strategic, very important acquisition for us, and we are so happy with, first of all, having the deal done, but also how Acquis have performed post the acquisition. They are trending around 6% pan-European market share, so the second largest MTF in Europe. And if you combine what we have in Switzerland in terms of market share on equities, Spain, and with Acquis, we are around 15%. So the second largest exchange in Europe in terms of equity trading. But Acquis have delivered great in terms of the systems they are running on. They run on their own technology. And what we have announced in the next 2 years' time, we will go live in Spain, Switzerland on the Acquis trading platform. So the vision view is towards our customers is one connection point, and you'll get access to the Swiss market, the Spanish market, and of course the Acquis markets that is already on the platform.
Now, the introduction of Scale Up 2027 signals an ambitious transformation program. Can you share your primary goals for this initiative and what success will look like in a couple of years' time?
Yeah, so the key focus for us with Scale Up 27 is how do we grow faster? As I mentioned in the beginning, we have a great starting point. We sit on the full value chain in Switzerland and in Spain, trading, clearing, and settlement. We also sit on data. We also sit on index calculation, and we also run banking services, payment systems in Switzerland. So I think if you look at the 4 business units we have a business portfolio that we really like. But where we see the opportunities is with the strong starting point we have, we can grow more mainly in Europe. On the trading side, but also on the data side and also on the post-trade side. So I think it will be a mix. It's do more of what we do, do it a little bit faster, do it a little bit better, and also cross-sell a little bit more. We can take a bigger part of the wallet at our customers.
Seems like a great strategy. Now, with your track record in overseeing Europe's two largest IPOs in 2024, but also a strong pipeline in Spain and Switzerland, how do you plan to position SIX as the leading venue for growth companies here in Europe?
Yeah, so first of all, if you look at last year, I'm so proud. We had the biggest IPO in Spain last year with Butch. The second largest IPO in Europe last year was Galderma. Also, that was in Switzerland. And the biggest IPO so far this year is also one we had in Switzerland. So in terms of doing big IPOs, we have done a fantastic job last year and also beginning of this year. But what makes me even more happy is actually when I look at the pipeline, we're not only here for the big companies where we're so far at least the best performing in Europe, but if you look at the Spanish market where the momentum we have in Spain, we have had 3 main market listings, 9 listings in our growth segment, and 1 more to come next week. So, and we have a strong pipeline. So I think actually when I look at what we offer, it's not only for the large cap companies, but especially in Spain, we have built a very strong value proposition for SME growth companies. And I think we aim to expand that, having also a quiz, having also a listing venue in Switzerland, where I think we have basically 3 markets to run on. And I think that gives us a great opportunity going forward.
There has been some ongoing concern about the lower levels of equity issuance and liquidity in Europe compared to over in the US. Do you think Europe can close this gap? And what actions would you prioritize to make the markets more competitive?
So it's a little bit interesting to follow the discussion around liquidity, Europe versus US. I think it's more a UK challenge, an issue. It's UK where you see the issues around losing companies to US. If I look at Switzerland as an example, it's almost similar story in Spain. We have a very strong value proposition. So if you look at the listings IPOs we have done in Switzerland, they have done super well. Galderma is known for one of the best, if not the best IPO last year. So in terms of liquidity, in terms of pricing, in terms of investor base, I think Switzerland is super strong, and I do not see a real threat from US. We need to be there. We need to always make sure that we work hard on securing liquidity, and price for me is strong. But I think actually when I look at our performance in the past and also look going forward, we have a really strong position.
Now, T+1 is probably going to be one of the most discussed topics over here at Sybos. So in your view, how are you supporting your clients in the transition to T+1? What are you doing there?
So our goal ambition is to run the best infrastructure in Europe. That goes for what we do in Switzerland, that goes for what we do in Spain. And of course, T+1 is a big initiative. We have seen how successful it has been in US. Europe has their agenda. So EU, Switzerland, UK, we're aiming for the same date in October 27. We spent a lot of time working with our customers to discuss with them, discuss the time plan, discuss the readiness. So running infrastructure is not only keeping robust, resilient systems every day, that's what we do, but also to plan for the future. And a part of that big planning is T+1. But the good part is many of our customers, at least the ones from US, have tried it in US before. The good thing is also Europe is aligned, EU, Switzerland, and UK on the same journey in October 27.
So lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for breaking that all down for us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not even sure what 6 is or T+1. So I'm gonna have to look that up. You're familiar with T+1 or 6? Or anything this
T+1
guy's talking
is
about?
I think Tenemos. It's like the system to be into Tenemos. And we know that Tenemos is connected to Quant, is connected to XPR, and we know that the number 6 itself is a very esoteric number. So it's very interesting that they name it 6. If you guys have ever seen the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 42 is the secret to life on that, and 4 + 2 is 6. Kobe used to wear 6. Kobe used to wear 24 2. 2 + 4 is 6. Jordan 23, 2 × 3 is 6. So the six is a big number when it's like kind of when it comes to like esoteric type of things. And the whole thing with Tesla where it's like 3, 6, and 9 if you only knew the power of 3, 6, and 9. So it's interesting they just named the bank 6. You know, that's a little interesting for people that like numbers. But it seems like he's saying 6 had all these successful IPOs, and they're trying to get themselves connected into Tenemos's system. So interesting there. It's so interesting. They're talking so high level about these systems, and they're just talking about it like it's something every day that everybody talks about. But it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. These guys are deep in banking and finance, so it's like they're in a whole nother realm than what everybody else is talking about.
Yep. Crazy, man.
No worries there. What up, Salamander? What up, Tony T? What's going on? What do you mean 10 million, Tony? What up, Salamander? What's going on? And I guess this is the instant payment. We'll run this real quick. And then that'll be most of the videos. So we'll be right back. Got a quick break here. And let's see what they're talking about for instant payments.
There are a host of initiatives in Europe and among the G20 bloc to develop new usages where instant payment becomes a utility, completely integrated within digitized client journeys.
At the same time, expectations for instant liquidity are growing as well. This is leading to the creation of new models of cash remuneration by both commercial and central banks.
And to discuss this in more detail, we are joined by Stephanie Ekenjan de Lister. I think that's right. Stephanie, is that? Excellent. Global Head of Cash Management at Credit Agricole CIB. Welcome, Stephanie, to Sybos TV. It's wonderful to have you here. You enjoying Frankfurt so far?
Absolutely. It's a great moment. And it's my first Sybos, so I'm really pleased to be here. Thank you.
It's great to have you here at Sybos. Let's get right into it. What are the major developments you observe in the global payment landscape?
We see that payments continue to rise, the volumes continue to rise. We also see that payments are now becoming faster and also almost invisible for the clients. We have a lot of initiatives in Europe. You can see that, for example, we have the new IPR regulation that aims to make the SCT scheme SCT scheme compulsory for all PSPs in the SEPA zone, and also reduce the risk of fraud, because it's definitely a big concern for our corporate clients. And the verification of payee will help reduce this risk of fraud. And of course, now that our clients experience these new benefits, they want to use them and have them for also their cross-border payments. So it raises the question of, are we capable to link the local schemes, instant payment schemes together? To that extent, we see that beyond Europe, there are initiatives. For example, the Australian correspondent bank that we use now converts the cross-border payments that we send to them via SWIFT into local instant payment on the NPP, which is the Australian real-time instant scheme. We want all that to become global. So we can see that globally, there are initiatives such as the Nexus or the IXB initiatives, which try to interconnect the national schemes together to provide instantaneity. And we also see that this need for instant payment now goes to instant liquidity. Clients now want to get instant liquidity to move their cash faster. And this is another trend that we can see in the market. And of course, this drives new initiatives, because we see that clients now get used to have this instantaneity and use them in digitized client journeys. For on the retail side, you can see that there are a lot of investments to enhance the client experience in terms of speed and in terms of cost, and also for the corporate clients. then it pushes initiatives in embedded finance, because we see that all the corporate finance, corporate clients now have a digital initiative to embed payments within their digital client journeys.
Now, with any new initiative, Stephanie, there are, of course, pain points. So what are the difficulties that need to be overcome to have instant cross-border payments in the near future? And is it only a question of technology?
For sure, managing interoperability is a challenge. It's a big technical challenge, but I think it's not the only success factor. What we need is also to be able to coordinate all the stakeholders of the ecosystem, meaning the central banks, the commercial banks, also the technical operators, corporate clients, of course. That's in order to facilitate the pain points, in particular in terms of KYC, in terms of compliance, in terms of management of FX, which are really difficult topics. And so we need the regulator and the whole ecosystem to get together to facilitate this move to instantaneity.
A simple question for you. Do you think blockchain can really revolutionize payments?
Well, actually, we can see that now we have ever more clients who get to us and say, instant payments is interesting to manage my commercial payments, but probably having the capacity to move your liquidity instant is probably going to become a need ever more urgent for the corporate clients. And to be able to come up with this need, then the traditional rails may not be completely appropriate. So blockchain definitely is one of the technologies which is being explored because it enables instantaneity. It's available 24/7. You can also have atomicity, which means that everything can be executed once you've checked that all the preconditions are met. So yes, I think that blockchain could be a response to this need for instantaneity.
And beyond blockchain, over here at Sybos, we're hearing so much discussion around stable coins, crypto assets, tokenized deposits. I mean, these new forms of payments are likely to fragment systems. So can you tell us a little bit more about that and elaborate?
Yes, indeed. Today we see that there are a lot of digital monies that are being seen on the market. You have CBDCs issued by central banks. You can have stable coins, regulated or not, which are issued by e-money institution or fintechs. And you have tokenized deposits, which are a digital representation of deposits in the banks on chain. So these are a lot of offers, and all those systems come together and generate some fragmentation of the payment landscape. So if each of them comes with their own ecosystem, technology, standards, then there is this very fragmented world, which is quite difficult to handle. Still, I believe that both technologies have to be explored because, as I said, if you want to be able to respond to a client, in particular, if you look at tech clients, tech clients who are very fast to develop their systems, who have very light treasury organizations, they want to be able to have instant treasury to be able to move the cash all around the world instantly. So if we want to be able to provide them with solutions, then probably we have, as financial institutions, to be able to explore both improvements on the existing standards, but also provide solutions on new rails, such as blockchain. Otherwise, there will be fragmentation of the systems and probably also fragmentation of the liquidity.
Does it mean that these evolutions question the traditional business model of commercial banks and central banks? Should they be regulated or at least respect some kind of common framework?
Well, probably we can see that indeed there's this fragmentation that we mentioned previously. So we need the whole ecosystem to help the banks innovate. it's not a question of preventing innovation. It's more a question of giving a framework for those innovation in order to be sure that we protect the customers and we don't have a too fragmented world. We can see that we have some regulations already live in Europe, like the MiCA regulation that provides a framework, a legal framework in the European Union for the issuers of crypto assets or stable coins. And the goal is, of course, also to protect the customers. And we also have the DORA regulation, which is here to give guidelines in order to ensure that we have a resilient system. So all those measures have a double goal, which is both to favor innovation and ensure stability of the system and protection of the clients. So that's probably the best way to do, to ensure that we are able to continue innovate while protecting the system. And that's why at Crédit Agricole, we are part of some initiatives, the Agora project, which was launched by the BIS, the Bank for International Settlement, and also new initiatives that have been just launched by SWIFT for digital assets, with one of them being to build a new blockchain infrastructure that will be token agnostic and currency agnostic, because we know definitely that SWIFT is probably our best asset to innovate while ensuring a global outreach. Because otherwise, with all those fragmented systems, we don't have a global outreach for the customers. So it can be dangerous. And also, it does not enable them to be able to process their payments over there. SWIFT is the only one that has this global outreach, I believe.
Earlier on, you did mention the stronger integration of payments within client journeys, as well as the development of embedded finance. Can you expand a little bit more on that?
Yes, we have already known for a while what was called open finance, which aimed at opening the banking data to authorized providers. And now we have moved to open finance, which broadens the set of data that can be used, like data like investment, insurance, things like that. And we can see that now there's a new trend. We are moving a step forward, going to embedded finance, because we see that our clients work on their digital journey, be it for their clients or even for their providers or for themselves, because they need to be able to embed financial services within the digital journeys of their clients or of their suppliers. So financial institutions and also providers like ERPs have to work with them in order to embed those financial services within the digital journey of the providers or the clients. And that's probably a big move to be done, once again, requiring the cooperation of the whole ecosystem.
Definitely fantastic and interesting conversation. As always, thank you so much for joining us here on the sofa at Sybos TV. That's Stephanie Ekenjan de Lister, Global Head of Cash Management at Credit.
So as she mentioned, can definitely see where things are lining up. Seems like everything is lining up. What up, Rico? Zebec. And I was thinking that too, as she said, I think she said something about instant payments in payroll and CBDCs and stable coins. So there's definitely going to be some conversations happening at the Sybos, and I'm pretty sure the Zebec is coming up. XRP, XLM, HBAR, Stronghold, and all these different software or programs to work together to help them with these transaction processings. What do you got, Rue?
It's interesting to me that she said that, and she's the instant payment person. She said that they're gonna use Swift for it because it's just the most global. And then she also said something about that there'd be like some type of template that would be in place where you could use the blockchain template for that. So that just screams Zebec, like dead giveaway right there for Zebec. And I see people still want to see the rich list. We can bring that back up a little bit later. But yeah, just screams Zebec to me. I want to. I can't wait to see what they have to announce for us. It's probably something, especially with what we just watched there. I'm even more certain it's some type of partnership with Swift. This is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely, because it's kind of like they're kind of hinting at it, but I think somebody said it earlier. They can't really say it, so they got to keep hinting at it and keep kind of reinforcing that, but they can't actually say it. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes and what the overall message, right? What they're trying to convey, because at some point they'll come out and say it, or maybe after the conference. But yeah, that was kind of, I guess that was most of the videos I was trying to look at, unless there was something we missed. Let's see, cross border. What is this? Cross currency transaction shifting landscape. Hmm. UK payment visions. Hmm. No, I just picked a couple. I didn't really have any more after that, unless there's something you guys wanted to check out, or there was any other things you wanted to discuss. What is this? 10 cents looking pretty conservative. Yes, dreams, definitely. But I told people, guys, once the adoption gets out, right? Once the word gets out, once structure hits the market and people actually understand what they're dealing with and what they can use it for, 10 cents is definitely conservative or the bottom of the actual price, maybe 25 cent, maybe 50 cents. Things are going to get crazy. They're going to be ISO compliant by November or the end of the year. Are they? Of course. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
they're
already,
gonna be. Like
yeah, I
they
think it's pretty
probably
much,
already. Go ahead, sorry, brother.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I think they probably already are, but they're just gonna wait to announce it for us. But you can't do the stuff that they're doing with WageLink and not be ISO compliant. I just don't understand. You really couldn't be able to do that, even test that, if you're not ISO compliant. They just haven't announced it to us. So
Yeah, I think that's the same thing I was going to say. I think they're pretty much done, or they're close enough to be doing business. So they're there. They just don't want to announce it before they get everything set up, right? They can't tell you too much too soon, right? They got to kind of string you along, like, oh, yeah, we are already compliant. Oh, yeah, we're already fine. Everything's good, right? But if these guys are working with them, they got to be either compliant or really close, right? They're not going to take that chance and then comes back that these guys aren't compliant or there's nothing that is able to complete for them to get to compliance. They're either there or they're close enough to get the contract signed. They can start working on uh, whatever they're testing or whatever they're trying to process. Actually, let me check this one out. Should cryptocurrencies be seen as the new normal? Best believe it, partner. I'm not sure why it's taking this long, but let's see.
Cryptocurrencies are often seen as exotic, but in reality, major digital coins can be dematerialized and settled in ways very similar to securities.
With the right infrastructure, banks can offer crypto just as they offer stocks or bonds to provide a smooth, compliant, and straightforward experience.
And to look at why cryptocurrencies should be seen as the new normal, we are joined by Dr. Levin Bunker, Chief Strategy Officer at Crypto Finance Group. Welcome to the studio.
Hello. Levin, I'll get straight into it, sir. Many banks still hesitate about crypto. Why do you believe they should think about it in the same way as securities?
Well, cryptocurrency's origin story is very weird for financial asset. It started off as a retail asset first, comes to institutionals much later now, which is more or less the opposite of how it usually happens, starting at institutional and then trickling down. In this retail childhood of these assets, there were a few customs and processes that establish themselves that are not really suitable for institutional needs. Like for example, it's very common for retail investors to need to pre-fund before trading at a crypto exchange, and these crypto exchanges themselves, they are very UI driven, and if there are APIs, then those are not the standard APIs that banks are comfortable with or know. This is the picture that many banks still have of cryptocurrencies, but these days of Wild West are mostly over. Banks can very much expect from their providers to offer the same experience for crypto assets, for Bitcoin and Ether and others, as banks already have for traditional stocks.
You've said in the past before that Bitcoin isn't so different from the traditional stock market. Can you tell us what you meant by that?
Sure. If a bank interacts with cryptocurrencies, like if I interact with cryptocurrency myself, I have a hardware wallet, or I have 12 words that I remember that store my Bitcoin. This is very obviously not what a bank can do, should do. This would not be in line with joiner mover lever processes at the bank. This is just not how institutions interact with that. So what banks need to do anyways is to apply some level of abstraction. They need to lock crypto assets in their basement and then abstract them into database entries, just as they abstract any other any other traditional assets. There is some dematerialization going on one way or the other, and that is, in my view, certainly what banks should, or how banks should look at it, as just another ISIN, like just another entry, just another asset that they have at their disposal.
What mistakes do you see banks making when they first think about offering crypto to their clients?
Yeah, crypto is a term that is very broadly applied. Like there are at least two different things that banks should have an eye on when it comes to crypto, which is also very much in line with what we see here at Sybos in the presentations. There is one thing that I would probably call crypto as cargo on existing rails. So Bitcoin and ETH make that available to your clients as a bank. And in doing that in the traditional, like in the same way as they offer Tesla shares to their clients, just as another ISIN. The other one is what I would call more crypto rails. So the opposite of that, which is strangely a strong focus at this Sybos, where banks consider getting traditional assets onto crypto rails. Those two things are very dissimilar, are very orthogonal in their approach, and are frankly also relevant on very different timelines. These crypto rails is something that will develop over the next several years, while crypto as cargo is something that banks can offer with very minimal effort today to their clients to get very quick wins.
So if banks do, in fact, address these mistakes, how do you see their future approach to crypto evolving?
Yeah, banks can and should interact, as I said before, with cryptocurrencies the same way as they do with Tesla shares for their clients. They can send SWIFT messages to their custodians where they just get the DVP settlement that they are used to, where they have funding operations for the fiat leg that is T+1 or T+2 that is very similar to what they do today. They don't need to overthrow any of their operation. They just need to activate another ISIN in their systems and choose the right provider. And in that way, they have a very smooth operation.
Your partnership with Clearstream is often highlighted. Why is this partnership so important, and what does it mean for banks that want to offer this crypto offering, I guess, to enter this crypto offering even?
Yeah. Well, Clearstream has 2,700 banks as clients for their ICSD. Them offering crypto custody with us as a sub-custodian behind that. Clearstream used to have 60 sub-custodian for different domestic markets. We are the 61st sub-custodian. It's very much in line with all the other assets. It's just another ISIN that their clients need to activate. Which also means that the project risk is like very, very minimal. You don't have any integration effort, not any integration cost. The effort, the burden to start offering crypto assets for your clients is close to non-existent. which is very different from these crypto rails concepts I laid out before, where you have high investment costs for like future outcomes.
And just taking a look ahead, how do you actually see the role of digital assets in the banking industry evolving? And how is crypto finance helping institutions to future-proof themselves?
I would also like to answer this question twofold. On this crypto rails track, there is certainly a lot coming. Crypto native issuances is a big topic that is also discussed here on every second stage at Sybos. Digital assets is a big topic also here on Sybos TV, as I noticed before. In this crypto cargo side, we are aiming for a much deeper integration into the existing financial systems. Expressing it as just another license through existing rails is already a big step. But integration of crypto assets into collateral systems, making that available as collateral for your usual operations, that's certainly a big step forward as well that we are aiming for.
Well, thank you so much for breaking down the world of crypto for us. That was Dr. Levin Bunker, Chief Strategy Officer at Crypto.
That was kind of weird. It was like they were trying to tell him to talk about Rails, and he was trying to not talk about Rails. He was trying to stay more focused on crypto as a deposit. And they're like, talk about Rail. Give us more Rail information. What's up with the crypto Rails? So I don't know. Maybe he didn't get the message. Or maybe he didn't get the memo. Because even he was saying a lot of the people there were talking about the crypto rail, right? And about trying to integrate rails into the system, because he was like, maybe a couple of years out it'll happen versus it happen immediately. And he was saying that like crypto deposits or whatever would happen before the rail. Like, but they're working on rails. What are you talking about? So I don't know.
It was
I don't know.
a
That's just what I pulled from
very,
it.
yeah, it was a very interesting conversation for me in that the way that they framed the conversation was as if crypto was a security. And over here in America, they've been framing the conversation as crypto not being a security because they made all this big old deal about crypto being a security. But when they set up this entire conversation, they were like, oh, well, you would deal with crypto the same way you would deal with a stock and this and they made it analogous to or equated it to a security, which is extremely interesting. And then he started talking about like and I deal with Europeans like in my job sometimes, and they're very like systematic, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, this is how we do it. These are the steps, and these are generally the steps that we do to do this. And now this is weird if we're not doing these steps because these are the steps we take. And
Yeah.
that's basically what he just said. He's like, okay, well, normally we don't do it this way. And they're trying to do it this way. And I think they should do it this other way because this is normally how you do it. And that's interesting because right away he started off saying that this is weird and you're doing things the way that we don't usually do it. And with euros, that you really, if you start off in the way that they don't usually do things, it's not pretty much it's hard for them to switch. They're not like flexible like that. They don't like doing things in the way that they didn't do it. Okay? They really don't like doing things in the way that they didn't do it. So it's interesting that they started the conversation and made the conversation like that. I really think they were looking at talking to a European audience, and they were really trying to make the European audience, I hate to say it, not want crypto. And maybe that's strategic. I don't know. But if you hit the European audience with like, okay, you're doing something the way that we didn't do things, and we've already have an established way of doing things, and you're trying to go against the established way, that's going to be really hard for them to hear. So I don't understand why they would have taken that tact. It was way different than the tact that they took with the other lady, and the lady I was talking about instant payments, and that conversation went like a lot more smooth than this conversation. So I don't understand that. It almost was like they were marketing against themselves. Like, is crypto the wave of the future? And the way that they set the conversation up, it was no. But
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what that was. I don't know
They
if
were
that was
kind of they
purposeful.
were kind of
Yeah.
framing it the other way. Like, no, just say no. He was like, but the rails are here and the deposits are here and we're trying to get going. But it's like, but you really don't want it. He's like, yeah, but we're getting deposit set up. And they're like, but this is not what we're talking about. I was like, dude, what are you talking about?
Bro, the way it
That was kind
came
of weird.
off to me was like, okay, well, it's weird and you want to do things against the way that we normally do it. It'll probably be easier if you did it this way, but you want to do it this way. And that's how the conversation came off to me. Which, if I'm a European watching that, I would say, oh, well, this is not the wave of the future. If I was a European watching that. But me being me and having research into crypto, I'm like, why did you set the conversation up like that? Why did you even do it like that? Because really, you're trying to bank the unbanked. You're really trying to, like, you're really not trying to, you're trying to have the neo banks anyway. You're trying to bank people through phone. Like, it's not, the whole conversation you had is not even where crypto's really trying to even head anyway. But so it's very odd to me that they had that type of conversation. It's really weird that to use his word, it's really weird that they framed the conversation like that to begin with.
Yeah, yeah, we're already too deep into crypto and they're talking about what if or maybe. Bro, it's too late for that. It's already the train is already rolling, man. What are you talking about? Like, do you really want crypto, bro? It's too late for that. It's too late. It's already here, man. So what is this?
Yeah, like
Why
I said, like
stable
if
coin?
I was a European watching that, I would be turned off. But I don't know if that was the point or not, because the way they phrased it, the way that they did it would probably turn off the average European. And they're like, okay, well, you're doing things against our customs and the way that we normally do things, which I don't understand why they would do it that way. I don't understand why they would do it that way.
Yeah, I think the videos, the way the videos are going, I think they started one way and then they started focusing a different way. Somebody's probably telling them like, look, I'm not sure what direction you're going, but this is not the focus we want. Change the focus and lighten them up the videos a little bit. Let's see what
Well,
this why
all the other
stablecoin matters.
videos to me were pretty good, but like most
Uh,
people probably won't understand them because it's like so much like background jargon. You need to know what T1 and all this other stuff is.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and the majority of people are not even going to go to be honest, majority of people are not going to go to Sybos' site and watch this anyway. But
Yeah.
other ones who will, like, if I'm like I said, just going back to his was the only one that was weird to me. If I'm a European watching his, I would be turned off. And I don't know why they would have it like that, cuz it's not it's not even phrased in the way that cryptocurrency is phrased to us as Americans. As Americans, they're trying to get it into the box of, it's not a security. None of crypto is security. It's a commodity, especially American cryptocurrencies. We're going to do zero capital gains tax on American cryptocurrencies. They are not securities. We already showed you at Ripple that they're not securities when they're sold on the secondary market. So they're not securities. And the way they framed it was, oh, it's just like a security. It's just
Yeah,
like
you
a
know, he did kept
Tesla
mentioning
stock.
that.
And
He
he
did
and
kept
he
saying it's
kept
just like Tesla stock. It's just like
yeah,
Tesla stock. I'm like, bro, it's
he
not.
kept and he kept hitting it that way, which is very interesting to me because it's opposite of what we get. Now, if I'm to think about it, Ondo Finance is offering like cryptocurrencies and things like that is pseudo, like they're not securities, but they're offering them as kind of, they're offering American securities as like tokens through Ondo Finance to Europeans. So maybe to Europeans, they want to have the thought of, okay, cryptocurrency is like a stock. And then if they say cryptocurrency is like a stock, they're more likely to buy the stock tokens that Ondo Finance is going to be offering through their cryptocurrency platform. So maybe that's how they're trying to angle it for those people. But then again, him coming on and saying it's weird, really, this is not the way we normally do things. I'm telling you right now, the average European, they are not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that you're doing this different than how we normally do things. They are very like kind of old school, and like honestly, I kind of wish America was a little bit more like this, where people were a little bit more traditional. Like we've gone like way out of crazy with it, but European people are more like, okay, stick to the way we used to do things. It's proven. We did it. It always worked. Let's use that way. It's really kind
Let's
of
not change anything. Let's not change it at all.
right.
If it
Unless
ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
right, and even if you want to update it, it's like, okay, well, let's use as much as what we have as we can use. Like even if we gotta bend over backwards 5 times to reuse what we already used, we gonna do that before we start over.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
No, we're
quicker.
gonna bubble gum and spitball it all the way together, bro. Keep spitballing it. Why
Right.
rebuild it, bro? We can keep spitballing it.
Right. You can give me about 50 reasons why it'd be better to start over, but we already got this. I'm telling you,
We got it, and I
bro.
know how it works, and I know all the ins and outs. I can keep making it work, bro. I can keep making it work.
That's
Why
it
start over?
exactly, BTM. That's it right there. Right there. This is it. I know how it works. I've done it before. Why would we go different than this? That's it. That's it exactly, bro. I couldn't even say it. Could say it more perfectly myself. And yeah, so a Euro seeing that, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know, but I don't know.
And
Maybe that was the point.
maybe, yeah, especially with the Tesla stock. And I was like, bro, out of all the things, why would you mention Tesla stock, bro? You could have said anything.
Well, at least they got the biggest, the best American stock with the Tesla one.
But yeah,
But I don't know how those people feel about Elon Musk either. So I don't
yeah,
know.
that's what I'm saying. I thought it was kind of some backlash. But let's go to the stable coin real quick. Stable coin, maybe the tone changed in this one. Let's check real quick.
The rapid evolution of money from paper to digital and now to blockchain based assets like stablecoins is reshaping how individuals and small businesses interact with commerce. Stablecoins promise faster, cheaper, and borderless transactions, yet they also introduce new challenges related to trust, regulation, and financial literacy.
And as countries adopt fragmented regulatory approaches and the private sector pushes innovation forward, understanding the real world implications for end users becomes crucial. Now, to discuss stablecoins in more detail, why they matter to consumers, and the risks and rewards of integrating them into everyday financial activities like payments, we are joined by Ramesh Siramani, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Personal Banking at the Royal Bank of Canada. Ramesh, welcome to Sybos TV.
Thank you, Olivia, and thank you, Johnny. Thanks for having me here.
I'm going to ask a very simple question to kick off the discussion. What exactly are stablecoins and how do they differ from cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin?
Great question, and I think it's the topic du jour, stablecoins. Think of it as a digital currency, right? So you have, like you mentioned, that there's cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. That's one form of digital currency. Stablecoin, as the name suggests, is a stable form of digital currency. So you have currencies which are crypto on the blockchain, which has all the elements and the things that make blockchain useful.
and stablecoin is backed by fiat currency, like it could be a US dollar, it could be a euro, and that makes it stable and therefore pegged to a stable currency and called stablecoin, or it could be another form of creating stability, like an algorithm, which doesn't exist anymore. But that's what brings the stability to stablecoin.
So what are the practical use cases for stablecoin today for individuals or for small businesses?
So I think we have to go all the way back to the uses of blockchain and what makes that useful. So anything on a blockchain kind of has instantaneous clearing and settlement at the same time. It has programmability and so on. So when you have a currency on the blockchain, it brings all the benefits of what we expect in a blockchain. So if you combine stablecoin with that, so you can imagine use cases like if you need to move money P2P, especially cross-border, where there's clearing and settlement mechanisms today which can be improved. This can make it a little more instantaneous. Or if you imagine like global trade, where small businesses need to move money back and forth between buyers and suppliers, you could see a form of stablecoin being used. Or payroll, international payroll. There are people kind of working gig economy and workers globally. So you could see them kind of moving this money pretty quickly. So these are emerging use cases. There are existing forms of moving money which do the same thing pretty usefully. This makes it a little more instantaneous.
So why should the average consumer care about stablecoins? I'm talking, of course, about a lot of people watching this right now.
No, a very good question. I think if you take today what we have available in terms of you want to shop or you want to move money, you want to pay somebody, we have enough rails and existing systems and infrastructure to make that possible. What stablecoin does is actually evolves this into the future. So where you can see clearing and settlement systems being a little more efficient, a little more cost effective, a little more transparent. And if you see programmability, it can bring, use cases have to evolve where you say, I'm entering into a contract with you, and electronically, can we have a trigger to kind of make the payment as soon as you pass on the goods to me internationally? Or things that make it a little more, or for example, in places where there is volatility of the currency, those people need to have a safe kind of haven currency where it could be a US dollar, it could be a euro, where they say, hey, I don't want volatility in my savings accounts, so can I keep it there? So there are some use cases evolving, but I think present forms of money and movement actually for the day-to-day customer is actually well served.
If a customer is offered to get paid in stablecoin, what should they be considering in that moment?
Great question. A few things. I think one, like I said, who's issuing the stablecoin? What is it backed by? The stability. What brings the stability to the stablecoin? What is the reserve behind it? It's very important to understand that and understand the issuer. Understand the regulation in your country, whether it's regulated. Is the deposit, if you're doing something in money, is it insured? What kind of tax liability would you kind of have? And what kind of infrastructure do you need to have as a person or as a small business? For example, you need a wallet to keep that currency. You need a custody player who kind of keeps custody of your money, and the infrastructure to kind of account for it, move it, etc. So those are the few things I would think individual or a small business should consider.
We've talked a lot about the benefits of stablecoins, but in your view, what are the risks and concerns with using stablecoins as a form of money?
I think, Olivia, this is a new form and it's evolving. We've just had the Genius Act in the US, MICA in Europe, and a few other countries have introduced, like Hong Kong and Singapore, introduced regulations. So it's kind of evolving. So for an individual customer or a small business, they need to be careful about, hey, what is the regulation? How is it evolving? What do I consider, like I said before, in terms of tax and my personal kind of infrastructure and holding the money? So you need to be a little more careful about entering into, why do you actually need to do it? Is there other forms of payment? This morning we had Swift announce, getting into the ledger. So Swift has a great messaging system, and if you combine that with the movement of money on the chain, that makes it powerful, right? So do you have existing forms that can take on what you need to do? So those are the few things that the customer needs to consider.
So where is this all heading, Ramesh? Can you see stablecoins becoming a mainstream part of how we all spend and save and more importantly, get paid?
Great question, Johnny. I think I was listening to your previous interview and where we're talking about a coexistence of many forms of payment. A form of payment to be really useful has to be, ease of use. It has to be trusted, and it has to be done at scale. So these things have to evolve. We are living in a time of inflection where you see in the next 4 or 5 years, rapid adoption. Adoption needs to get up to that level where people trust it. People know what they're getting into, who are the issuers, what are the regulations, and so on. So we need to see that happen. I think that it'll happen rapidly. You also see coexistence of traditional currencies, CBDC, like we talked about, and also some sort of stable coins across the globe.
You've already touched on this a little bit, but let's press on further. What does the regulatory landscape look like for stable coins, and are you optimistic for how it will eventually develop?
I think the Genius Act in the US, MiCA in Europe, I think have started to bring in that certainty around regulation. It needs to evolve further. For example, in Canada, where I come from, we are still kind of waiting for regulatory clarity around this. So what it'll do is give certainty to customers about, hey, is this somebody you can trust? Is this a reserve? What makes it a reserve kind of coin? What kind of reserves do you need to make it stable? For example, you need to kind of invest it in treasuries or keep it in cash. What makes that stability? Who's a custodian who can be trusted? Do they get registered by the central bank? Like, what form of kind of security do you kind of gain from that? So those are sort of things an individual customer needs to keep in mind. I think regulation is catching up, more to come.
So where do you see the role of central banks and central bank digital currency, CBDCs, in this evolving ecosystem?
The big difference is the stable coin is issued by either a bank, FI, or a non-FI under regulations, right? Under the regulation of each country, whereas a stable coin is issued by the central bank. I think they will coexist. There's some sort of need for CBDCs. There's a need for stable coin, and the current forms of payment provide all the necessary things that a customer needs. So we see this as an evolving ecosystem with all three.
And just a final question to wrap up. What should a small business be aware of if they're actually asked to accept payments in stablecoins?
A wonderful question. I think, like anything else, the counterparty risk, whether it's stablecoin or any other currency, who's the other party? What kind of, knowing your customer on the other side, or kind of, are they following AML and other regulations? Volatility of the currency being offered to you, the tax implications, making sure you have infrastructure to accept currency, making sure you have the ability to invoice in stable coins. Those are the sort of things the small business need to take into account.
Well, Ramesh, it's been great to have you. Thanks for breaking that all down for us. I hope you do enjoy the next few days here.
So this guy definitely got the memo. He's definitely talking the right language, man.
Yeah, you mind sending me that link too?
This one? Yeah. No, and somebody mentioned in the comments. You said what?
This is the best one.
Just this one?
Yeah, just this one is fine. And the one from the other woman, the one that talked about instant payments. But this was the best one to me. And notice he said that stable coins are issued by the central bank. I don't know if that's true for every stable coin, but that's what he said. And I do remember in the Zebec Spaces, one of the guys said, well, this has a certain license, and people are going to be coming to us for this license. Basically, like, they cannot conduct business unless they come to us, and Zebec has that. That's what he was saying. Now, could it be that if you're not conducting business in a central bank currency, i.e. a stable coin, you can't conduct business legally, possibly? Now, he also mentioned the coexistence period between certain currencies and certain not currencies. So after 11/22/25, if you're not conducting business in a central bank issued stablecoin, maybe you can't conduct business legally, really. And Zebec, being the kind of holder or the ship for all these different stablecoins, if you're not using Zebec, then you're not compliant. And they can just say no. Well, you can't conduct business with the NBA. You can't conduct business with the NHL. You can't conduct business with the national, the MLS, the soccer league. Like you literally can't conduct business unless you get with our program, the central bank program. Otherwise, you're out there renegading. You're not really, you're not really compliant. That's like that's insane when you think about it. The insane advantage that can give Zebec. Now, as a business owner, that's gonna be crazy when you think about it. As a business owner, you might have to jump through a lot of hoops, but as crypto investors, that's really really great for us.
Yeah, definitely. And somebody mentioned in the comments something about, let me see, what did he say? The lights. So I was staring at the lights, about the lights kind of look like the quant symbol. And they kept, when he said that, they kept focusing and they kept zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. It's like, what the freak? Like the first couple videos, they only zoomed out once or twice. This video, they kept doing it. I'm like, them, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a long video or what, but it's like they're kind of focusing on the light above the guy at like there's spotlights above, and it's a black spotlight and it kind of is glaring and it does look a lot like the quant symbol. I mean, just some kind of
Interesting.
weird,
Can we see that
it's just
again?
some kind of well, let me see.
What's up, Paul Andrew? Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, shout out to Paul representing the Rue crew. Let's go. Let me see. Where is this? Yeah, here. This guy. The top of the lights look like the quant. See this light?
They do,
You can see
yeah.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man. But the weird thing is, they kept zooming out. Like when they zoom on the other videos, they don't zoom out that far, right? Like this
No, they don't.
guy during his videos, they're zooming all the way out. It's like, wait a minute. But yeah, it's just some kind of
Interesting.
weird coincidence. Then ZBCN, Paul Andrews. I'm here to learn what you guys thinks, fam. Rue, volume's low, bro. My bad. It's me. Huh.
Yeah, no worries.
Um, Phantom Beat. Now that's how you watch your words. Andrew. But yeah,
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 so
yeah.
this
No.
is this is an interesting thing to think about in that if these currencies, if stable coins are central bank currencies, um, you know, you may not be able to conduct business unless you're using a central bank currency, some central bank approved currency. Um, so that's very interesting to think about. Now, if we step back a little bit, um, it's always been because he made a very astute point. Like, okay, who's backing the currency? Who's backing the currency? When you go to your bank anyway, like a Chase Bank or something like that, like you're basically saying, okay, well, all my dollars in the bank are Chase Banks, but is backed by Chase. So if I come back to go get the dollars, basically I'm backing that Chase has the dollars for me. So essentially, since you have your stuff in Chase, you're basically backing your stuff by Chase stable coins anyway. That's almost how it is anyway. But now they're kind of setting it up so that, okay, well, if a bank doesn't have this approved central bank stable coin, they can't conduct business. Um, so that's interesting when you put that up to like the back to the NBA to all the big institutions in the world. Like if you want to conduct business with these big institutions, you will have to get this central bank coin. You have to get one of those stable coins. You have to be approved for like one of those stable coins. They have to let you in. but again, that's huge. That's huge news for us as Zebec investors. But as a business owner, that might suck a little bit. But it's great for crypto investors.
Yeah, no. Get on the bus or get rolled over. But, I did pick that up because he was saying too that you had to get compliant, right? Everything is going to be compliant in the certifications and I think he said the ISO. He said some kind of one of the certifications
Coexist.
would be
Yep.
a big factor in that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he said he was talking about the coexist periods, and some type of like he was talking about the Genius Act and the MiCA laws.
Oh, yeah.
The Genius Act and the MiCA laws basically, said it so the stable coins and stuff were in place. But like so come 11/22, if you're not conducting business with these stable coins, you don't get to conduct business pretty much. Um, so every bank is probably going to be to the point where every bank will have its stable coin, but that stable coin is directly tied into Swift and the central banks. So it will be directly tied into Swift and the central bank. So essentially, if you're doing the sports betting with ZBCN, it's directly tied into Swift instantly.
But like you
So
said, that's great for us, right?
it is. It's great. It's
and
absolutely great for us. It's absolutely
and
great
that
for
makes a
us.
lot of
But
sense, right?
but
It's
but
gonna
now,
cut out
like,
a lot of
guys,
corruption.
don't like, you should never do anything. Like, you should always be straight above board on everything that you do. But like now, don't try to mess around with your taxes. Don't try to mess around. Don't try to do something like even halfway sketchy, because they know who you are. Every transaction is going right back to the central bank. There's no gray area with this. Like, you're known, and right down to the betting, to the microtransactions of the betting, we know. Okay, so don't play around. Like, this is like, once they get all these rails and things into place, there's no gray area with that.
Yeah, but that's ultimately the goal of the blockchain, right? Everything should be on the blockchain. So you're going to audit it. You're going to go back and look. They're going to check. They're going to. Well, that was what they were selling the government on, right? You could always go back and audit. You could always go back and check if there was a discrepancy. We could find it on the blockchain. So I mean, you're right, right? There's no more finagling or scamming, right? Because you're gonna be able to look up the record like, oh, what is this? And I saw something, I didn't read the article, but there was like Kevin Durant found 10 million worth of Bitcoin. You saw that? Some
Yeah,
kind of
that
way
he
he
had in
found his
his
Bitcoin?
account. Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had it. He was an early investor, it turned out, and they found his account and they were able to open it. Um, Now I'm wondering how this is going to work kind of legally with tax things and stuff like that, because people have been doing things like skill trades. You know what I mean? Like, I'll fix your house and you do this for me. Like, I don't think there's any way they can outlaw that. But then what happens now if you want to do, you know, I don't know. There are legal gray areas of things, but I don't know how that works out in a world where your currency is directly tied back to the central bank. That's interesting. That's really interesting to think about. Um, like, directly, not like how we have it with money, where you have, like, every dollar has a serial number and stuff like that. But this is like electronically instantly tied back. This is crazy.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah.
as a
No,
Zebec investor, you should really feel like you should really be high on Zebec, because if no one's using, just like Mr. Spader was saying earlier, if nobody's like, they have to use them if they're trying to do micropayments. They have to. Like, if you're a big business, you have to use them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. After the coexistence period, 1122, you have to use them. Period. They've already been assigned as Deutsche Bank's global payroll leader. So they're everywhere Deutsche Bank is. And Deutsche Bank is the leader in Europe. That's the back. They're there. Like what? There's like, as an investor, there's nothing else you should be able to want from this coin. Like, I might have to say 20 cents now. BTM. I might have to say 20 cents now, man.
You know, I've been thinking that. Look, each video I watch is just going up. It's just going up and up and up. I'm just waiting for somebody to slip up and say one of the videos. We've been looking, and one of the major players in it is a Zebec Networks. Just somebody saying in the end of the video, we talked to a new company, Zebec Network. I'm just waiting for somebody to just be like, and something we partnered with, just slip out and say Zebec, and then somebody get that sound bite, and everybody just putting it on their YouTube and X, and then there's like, what is that? Like what is that? What was that stock that took off with the Roaring Kitty? What was that?
GameStop.
Yeah. There's a GameStop situation where it just starts going up and up and up and up and up. Like, oh my God, what is ZBEC? What is ZBN like? Like, I just waiting for that to happen. It's just a matter of time before it happens. Like, oh yeah, somebody said something about it. What is ZBEC? Like you said, people are like, should we get ZBEC at 50 cents? Oh, it's going up to $1. Why did I get ZBEC? Like, dude, we've been talking about it for years, man. Where you been? Is there anyone else trying to do what Zebec is doing? If not, then game over. Dream? No, not that I know of.
So the only people that come close, and it's in a different kind of application, is Metallicus. They're the only people that I've seen that come close. But it seems like they're applying it in a different manner, and that they're doing it with credit unions. They're getting credit unions plugged into the system. They're not necessarily trying to be payroll, day to day sports betting type of thing. They're not trying to do that. They're just trying to onboard the credit unions, get loans from people that are using credit unions, and do it that way. Zebec is more like, okay, well, sports betting, phone app banking to unbanked type of thing. So the quick answer is no, but the closest competitor would be Metallicus, and they're in a different lane. Their lane is credit unions and lending through that.
I can agree. And Zebec is so far ahead. Does Metallica have compliance? Have they been trying to get the compliant or SOC
Yeah,
2 or anything?
they have the SOC 2, they have the
Okay.
ISO compliance. As far as I know, they're MiCA compliant too. So, and they got XRP connections too. So, as far as I know, Metallicus is the only one that's like right there, but they got a different purpose. So, other than that, I don't know anyone else, especially connected to all these different stable coins, and now with the Deutsche Bank thing, and maybe even possibly Swift coming up here. This is crazy. This is crazy,
Yeah, and
man.
the science card and the blockchains with the debit cards and the credit card and the black card. Yeah, they're way ahead of the rest of the pack.
Yep, 100%.
I'm jacked, fellas. Jacked to the tits. Bye, bye, bye. Definitely bye, bye, bye. So yeah, that's about it. Unless you wanted to show the what was that? The rich list again. But yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, let me
So
show the
thanks.
rich list again, guys. And then also, if I can, bring up my channel if you guys haven't
Yeah.
liked
Sure,
and
sure.
subscribed already. Let me get that rich list out. Okay, can you guys see it?
Wait, let me put it back. Add you back to the stage. There you go.
Okay, and you see it?
Yes. Yes. Up.
So the Leviathan is 10 million plus. Whale is 5 to 9. Shark is 200K to 5 million, that's a huge, that's a huge list of people right there. Stingray 100K to 200K. Turtle 50K to 100K. Clownfish 10K to 50K. Seahorse 10K and under. Like, let me see. Let me grab out the calculator. How much would it take to just be Zebec, like have a million of Zebec right now? I think it's like around $4,000. Would that be right?
Yeah, I think so. 4,300, give or take.
Okay, so like 10K then will basically have you at 2.5 million. Why not? Why not at this point? Why not? Why not? After all the stuff that we've seen, why not? Not financial advice or anything like that. I've had mine and I'm already holding mine, full disclosure, you know, and I got a lot. But I don't see cause and I'm gonna do a show coming up about certain stuff about this. But I don't see why you wouldn't try to make yourself at least have 2.5 million Zebec at this point, and try to stake some of it. At this point, um, I just don't see why you wouldn't. Um, but yeah, let me bring up my channel for you guys. This is some crazy stuff, guys. Like, literally, you will have to use Zebec or otherwise you're locked out. You're locked out of any big business moves. Um, you will have to use the system or you're locked out of big business moves. Like that's the real life. That's the real life of it. And knowing that that's the real life of it, like, why wouldn't you invest in this? Of course, like, I think you should have a little bit of XRP too, because of what's happening, what's coming up for XRP. But why wouldn't you, knowing all of this that we know about Zebec right now, this moment in time, knowing that an NBA NHL announcement is looming, why wouldn't you go do that? I just don't understand. So check this out. Check my channel out, guys. Like I said, we just kind of went over some stuff today here about what Ghost posted, like with the Swift partnership, and we went more into it today too. Definitely, you would want to re-watch this episode if you haven't already on BTM's channel. Man, this is like, I don't think I've ever been more bullish than I am today on Zebec, which is crazy to think about. Um, what's up, Terrell? Thanks for coming through, brother. Appreciate you. And let
Yeah,
me get
thanks for
something
that
up.
super chat. What is this? Join the channel. Shout out to you guys. The research is up back to the moon. Thank you, Terrell. Thanks for that super chat. Appreciate you. Shout out to the research. We are up, bros. look at Zebec. No worries there. And definitely check out the Black Rue Investing YouTube channel. Thank you for all your help and all your research, Black Rue. Thank you for joining and coming through and blessing us with all your research, and appreciate all your help and everything you guys do to help support Zebec and keep us up to date. Let me see here. Swap this back over. This is, let me see. Zebec is up 9. Let's see, where is it? Up 4.7% in the hour, 9.8% on the day at the 0041. I'm trying to pull it up. Okay, I was on a month. That's why I wasn't looking. So this is on the 4 hour. Let me see if we can zoom out a little bit here. I mean, this is the 5 minute. Let me go down to the 2 hour. See if we can make it make sense here. Maybe the 1 hour. 15 minute. And nothing's really looking good here. Guess we'll go back to live coin watch. So it looks like as we're talking, it's been up 5% in the hour. So I don't know if the overseas market's waking up or what's going on, but there is some definite movement going on here.
Or it might
Go
have just
back
been a
to
show.
yeah.
Some people were like,
I guess
you know what? You're right. I'm gonna go buy some right now.
I'm gonna start swapping everything out. These guys are making too much sense. You've been
Right?
sleeping on big.
Over
There we go.
here. But
These guys
really,
are talking
knowing
too
that,
much.
why wouldn't you? Why would you have it?
Yeah, these guys are talking too much good information. Let me start investing. But yeah, things are looking good on the 1 hour chart. So we will see. But thanks for joining, guys. We're gonna shut it down. And appreciate you, Black Rue. Appreciate the Black Rue crew and the Zebekians and the Zebec army. Peace out. Thanks for joining. And as always, let's get back to the money and stay dangerous. Miner out.